Welcome back, guys, to the Ange podcast. Guys, today we have two big guests. I'm so stoked again. Of course, one of the OGs of this podcast, Julien Leblanc.
What's up, brother?
Thanks for coming back again, man. I appreciate it. And now it's not only me and Ju. He had a big fight. Amazing. We're going to talk about many different aspects. That's why we brought Nick Courchesne. Thanks for being here, Nick Courchesne. I appreciate it a lot. So, guys, today we're going to talk about everything. Julien, Nick Courchesne brought about ibogaine. What was the name again?
Ibogaine.
Ibogaine.
And ibogaine.
Ibogaine is going to be really interesting. That's why I brought Nick Courchesne. We're going to talk about a lot of things. So, Ju, first of all, congratulations on your win.
Thank you, brother.
Your respect. I was there. You were there also, right? Yeah, amazing. And especially, I just want to highlight quickly, before you entered, like when you were waiting, everyone got up. Like in the beginning, I wasn't sure. You know, it's Gatineau. You're like the main fighter here. I was like, okay, what's going to happen? I just see your song slowly playing. Everyone stands up. I'm like, that's what's up. I was fucking stoked because in the beginning, I was like, I want to scream Ju, but am I going to be the only one screaming Ju? Like, should I get up? And normally, I don't really care what other people do. Like, I just do what I want to do. But then when I saw everyone stand up, screaming your name, I'm like, let's fucking go, man. You deserve that, and I'm fucking stoked. Your fight against Rohovic, I know there's been a big change really, really close to the fight date. Can you explain to me and to everyone just what happened?
Yeah, so what happened basically is that, you know, I've learned 9 days before the fight that my opponent was out. Was he out, injured? Was it a visa issue? I don't really know. Like, I didn't add no doctor paper or nothing. But at this point, like, everyone that followed my career and that knows me knows that I unfortunately had a lot of things that happened to me in my career. So a lot of opponent changed last minute, a lot of opponent falling down, cancel fights, etc. So 9 days before the fight, I get a call. So opponent is out, blah, blah. We're 9 days out. It's going to be hard to find another opponent, right?
Of course, yeah.
So especially for the belt, 5 rounds, and it costs money. We're close to the fight. Plane tickets are expensive. But like the promoter was super honest with me. He's like, look, if you want to just enjoy the night, don't fight. It's in 9 days. I will 100% pay you all your purse and your ticket bonus money, everything. Like, I will pay you everything. You can just enjoy the night with the people and you'll fight the next year. And I was like, man, I just can't. Like, okay, yes, if I would be an asshole, I would take the money and just like, hey, sorry, I don't fight, right? But I'm not like that. And everyone that, like I told the promoter, I'm like, everyone that's bought tickets, they come for me. I'm not saying like that they don't come for Morrison or all the other guys, but the reality is that the people from Gatineau, they come to see me. They bought tickets to me. They want to see me. They don't even know who the other guys are on the card. Yeah. So if I don't fight, man, you're gonna have a riot, and I know you won't. No, but I know you won't refund the people at 9 days out, right? So I was like, look, I'll pay whatever I have to pay but find another guy, man. Find another guy. So they had 2 guys on deck. One guy didn't work out. Then Rohovic had his medical. He had everything. So yeah, man. Like at the end of the day, he was asking for a lot of money because it was last minute, right? And I told, and the plane tickets, he comes from Saskatoon. So plane tickets were super expensive too, to bring him and his coach. So I just told the promoter, look, just tell me how much I need to take off my purse and I'll just pay it and whatever. So I ended up fighting for not a lot, but the most important is that I fought. I have another win, and that people that bought tickets, they saw me fight. I think that was the most important, to not let the people down. So that's what we did. And for sure, like people will say it was an easy fight. In the fight, I don't want to say it was easy, like respect to Rohovic.
Of course,
there's no fights that are easy, but for sure, I know I was better than him, and I knew I had to win. I was the one taking all the risks, because losing against a guy with a 50-50 record at the place where I'm at right now with my age, it would have fucked up my career right away, because you lose against a guy like this, then you're like, man, you're that close to the UFC or whatever, the big leagues, and then you're like, oh, this guy's not good, right? So like, once again, yes, people will say, oh, it was not an even matchup or whatever, but the guy was still a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and I tapped him out, so that's a nice win for me on my record.
Rear naked choke,
and at the end of the day, like I said, this guy had nothing to lose. He was coming in, making a very good pay. And if he beat me, he beat a guy who was like a legit top prospect in Canada. Yeah. If I lose, well, I lose against a guy who I should not lose, right? So, like, I had more pressure than people think.
Yeah.
And also, like I said, like I almost fought for free on this one because after paying my manager and all the training camp,
That's
and
something Mayweather would never do.
probably not, but at the same time, he doesn't fight for the same amount as
Yeah.
me. But anyway, that being said, bro, I'm happy with the win. I'm 10-2 now, 8 finishes.
Crazy.
I will take it. It's a good record. You see guys in the UFC with that kind of record, so I'm really happy. And if you look at my other opponents, I always fought good opponents,
Crazy
with
opponents.
winning records. So it's not, for me, it was not like, oh, I'm fighting a can. Like I never thought this guy was a can or nothing. And I never also listened to the outside noise, right?
Of
Noise.
course.
Like I was
Cancel
just like
it.
focused on what I had to do, the task ahead. And that's it, man. Like at the end of the day, I'm happy. And like you said, the walkout, man, when everyone's, because it was like I was going outside like before my fight just to get there. The energy, I was like a little bit watching the other fights and like there was the room was not empty, but it was like not that full. But when I walked out and I did my fight, it's like the room was now like full. You know, it was
and
crazy.
the energy was different. The atmosphere was different.
The walkout, like it was a very nice moment for me, and I'm really once again grateful for all the support I have in Gatineau. You know what I mean?
Of course, and just the fact that you still took an opponent, you could have easily just said, you know what, to the promoter, you fucked up my fights. I want the money. That's it. I'm not gonna fight. You fucked up. But you stayed real. That's a real fighter. You said, no, fuck it. I want to fight. I'm here to fight. I don't want to deceive the Gatineau people, the people who are here for me. Like, of course, shout out Tommy Morrison. I had him on my podcast. An amazing guy. Isaac Herbert, an amazing fighter also, and the list goes on. Like, amazing fighters. Ramsey, that was a crazy fight. Ramsey and against the other guy. Wow, man, that was a crazy fight right there. But what you did, man, that takes a lot of guts. And also the other guy, shout out to Rohovic, man.
Shout out to him, man.
Yo, big shout out to Rohovic,
6
man.
kids. He told me, I talked a little bit with him. 6 kids, man. The guy, he just came out and he told me too, he wanted to save the show, like, and he understand what's the game and when people buy the tickets and like life is hard for everyone right now, you know. So people will spend like $200, 150, whatever the cost of the ticket that you took. You take your money to come support me. Christmas is coming really soon, so I know like
sacrifices,
exactly, and people they come to support, so it was like a no-brainer that, hey man, we're gonna give them what they paid for, right?
Of course, man. Yeah, and now I was like, I loved him, and it was crazy, and just the fact you kept going and you took the fight, and also like Rohovic, like, and also just the fact that you changed opponents. Yeah, that's a big thing you have to do, because even though maybe he was not at the same level as the other fighter, it's still a different fighter. Yeah. Like in your training camp, you were ready for the other fighter, but you got a new fighter. So that's another adversity you had to face and to overcome. Yeah. So even though, like you said, he was a bit older, right? He's like 38 from what I remember. And like, of course, that was like last second fight, but still, it's a lot of pressure. And just like I said it so many times, just stepping in the cage. Yeah. Takes a lot of balls. That's something I would personally never do. Like, just that's a lot of respect. So how would you describe the event? Like, what did you feel when you saw everyone stand up? So cheering your name, applauding and everything.
For sure, this is like a moment that it's hard to describe, because you're just there, you're going to the battle. Like, once again, like we say, regardless who's your opponent, man, the guy has two legs, 2 arms, and he's a trained fighter. So
black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, he's not a bum from the Viral, right? Yeah. So it's like, man, having all the support, it really like, it puts you in the zone, man. It just pumps you up. And like Nick said earlier, like he felt like I was really calm, and I felt really calm, a little bit too calm before. I was like, fuck. I'm usually like a lot of in my head, you know, when I fight like opponents that are, you know, like as a lot of knockouts or whatever, like you're in your head thinking about all that can happen and everything.
Of course.
And sometimes it fucks you up a little bit, like, because you either perform super well or underperform or start slow, whatever. This time I was super calm, not stressed. I was feeling good. So I was like, okay, I need to not let this also affect me on the other side. You're too calm, and I never thought it would be easy. That's not the point, but you know what I mean? So having all the people standing up like this, filming me and cheering, I was like, okay, let's fucking go. Like,
yeah, you felt Gatineau behind you.
Only thing in my head saying, let's fucking go. And I just went, and it was like on autopilot now. The second you do the walk, You cannot fucking run outside the
No,
ring,
no,
but you
you're
have
going
go.
to war,
So
bro.
it's like,
That's crazy.
let's fucking go, and you just gotta make the most of it, right? But
Yeah.
I really enjoy this moment. It's gonna be a moment that I remember for
Yeah.
all my life, you know.
Of course. And how do you deal? Like you said, normally before fights, when you're standing there just before your walkout, you have all kind of thoughts, right?
Yeah.
Like negative thoughts. What's the best way, in your opinion, to deal with those negative thoughts?
It's to remember that you're good too.
Okay.
Sometimes you think about what the other guy's gonna do, what he did in his fights, but you gotta remember what you did in your fights. That you also knocked out people, that you also submit people. You gotta remember that. Hey, okay, yes, I'm fighting a dangerous guy and a guy that he knows what he's doing. But fuck, man, I've been training since I'm 16 years old. I know. I've been to war in the gym. I've been to war in fights. I know how to do it. You gotta remember this. You gotta remember, man. There's a reason I'm there today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And isn't it like all about energy? And what I mean by that is that if your energy is focused on the other guy and what this guy might do to you, I mean, normally you take time to study your opponent. As he said, this was kind of a last minute thing. So that for sure can fuck the game. But the thing is I think if your energy is in regards to, you know what you're able to do, and that's what you focus on, and you go in and you do exactly what you got to fucking do, that's how you win fights.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And the truth being said, like, I've been in martial arts for a big part of my life.
Okay.
I don't have no professional fights, but I have 5 amateur fights. And before a fight, like if you've never, fought, like amateur professional,
Like many people, 99% of people never fought. Yeah.
You might have fought in a bar, but that happens by instinct.
That's different.
But then you know that you're going in a fucking ring, or you're going in
Octagon.
Octagon, or in a ring, and that guy wants to take your fucking head off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's happening.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like in 10 minutes, 5 minutes,
Yeah.
2 minutes.
You never know. Maybe
right?
maybe 3 seconds. It can be a 3-second knockout. You never know. Conor
Exactly.
McGregor, Jose Aldo, bro. That was like 9 seconds.
Exactly.
Jorge Masvidal against Ben Askren. Bro, that was like half a second. So you never know. But that's what's crazy. Like, and you said you fought amateur. I never fought, but I worked in bars and I saw many fights in bars. When there's a fight in the bar, it's so different from in an octagon or a ring. In the bar, you have 2-3 punches. It's over, and the other guy, you only punch like 3 times. But in an octagon or a ring, from personal experience, guys, it can be so different. I can only imagine.
Yeah, and it's like you say, it's all about energy, man.
Yeah.
If your energy is focused on the other guy, you'll always think what he's gonna do. You're gonna be hesitant. You're gonna wait. But then if you go and fight, like, man, I don't care what he's doing. I'm gonna do this. Then you'll see it's gonna switch a lot. Like, look at Makhachev against Jack Della Maddalena. If you watch 3 weeks ago, the fight, like, for sure Makhachev is a super high level, but Maddalena is super good too. But you could see right off the bat, Maddalena was only thinking about like the takedowns, and right away he was like gun shy. He was not doing anything because what you're waiting about what Islam's gonna do, when he's gonna shoot, fuck, and then next thing you know, you're on your ass. You already shot, you did nothing. And it was this every round. He was surviving well on the ground for sure, but I mean, he was behind every step of the fight. He was behind all the time because always thinking about what he's gonna do. This guy's the greatest of all time. What he's gonna do to me? What he's gonna do? Well, he did what he had to do, and he did exactly what you thought he was gonna do. But you didn't do shit that you were supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying he would have won. He might have got finished, but he didn't really try to win. And for sure, this guy, when he watched the fight again, he must be like, shit, I never actually tried. So it's like, yes, I survived, but I didn't try it.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy how brain is like, your mind is by far the most powerful tool you can have.
100%.
No matter how strong your body can be, no matter what you accomplish, no matter who you fucking become or who you fucking are, your mind can be your best friend as much as it can be your worst enemy, your mind.
Yeah.
That's how you have to control, especially in sports. Yeah. Like, you guys know, you fought in high-level sports like fighting, MMA, professional, whatever. Your mind can literally make or break you. So crazy. And this is something I always like to talk about and ask other people, because I feel like everyone, as a human being, we all get negative thoughts from time to time. We all get thoughts where we feel worthless, where we feel like we're not good enough for whatever. And no matter, this goes for even Elon Musk. He goes clinical depression like 2 or 3 times. And you cannot accomplish more than what he accomplished, right? He did almost he's the richest guy on planet Earth, SpaceX, this and that. Elvis Presley, the guy literally had everything. Mentally, he was all depressive and sad. So it's crazy how you can literally be anyone, but your mind can always be against you. And I always ask people, because I want to know their opinion. How do you guys deal with when you get negative thoughts? You in the ring, or just you in your life in general?
Well, when you think, in regards to the mind, in French, we call it le mental, right? Mental, if you look at the root word, is actually mensonge. So your mental is going to lie to you. The problem is in the society that we live in, our soul and our heart is at the service of the mind, but it has to be flipped. The mind needs to be at the service of the soul. And that's the greatest issue that we live in. And in North America, even more than other parts of the
Western
world.
world,
In the Western world, And we'll talk later on a little bit about, different like ibogaine and ibogaine and actually what it does. Because a lot of the time, the reason that the mind is thinking negative thoughts, it's because of negative emotion. And it's all energy. But the root of it all is actually trauma.
Yeah. Childhood trauma.
And it all starts there. And not just childhood trauma, but generational trauma that we're actually carrying that we don't even know that we're carrying.
I always wondered how like real is generational trauma?
Oof.
Because like let's say me, my parents are from Serbia. Like right in Serbia, Yugoslavia, there was every single generation suffered the war. And that's just speaking from me, my personal experience. But let's say Black people in America, they suffered, of course, generational trauma with slavery and everything else. So I just wondered, like, how much does generational trauma hurt you? And if it does truly hurt you, like, how badly does it actually hurt you?
So I can only speak from experience.
Yeah.
But would you say that life is energy?
In my opinion?
Yes.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, I'm very Christian, but yeah, to a certain degree, I agree.
Right. So when your mother gives you life, she's transferring energy.
Okay.
Like when she's giving you life, but she's also passing down an emotional baggage. She's also passing down a trauma baggage. And we don't understand that. Personally, in my own experience and through the transformation that I just went through, that we'll talk a little bit about later on.
Of course.
I understood that the generational trauma that I was carrying, the weight of it was probably 100x my own personal trauma. And most people with psychotherapy, I believe, and again, I'm talking only about my own experience.
Yeah,
it might be different. I think every healing experience or transformational experience, like our fingerprint, meaning it's different for everyone. But in my own experience, understanding the weight of the generational trauma that I was carrying. And it's not like in the past I've not done even trauma resurgence therapy that I did in regards to my own healing process. And a lot of the trauma that were actually in my subconscious mind, I brought it in my conscious mind. But then it was even more fucked up because then I started feeling a lot more guilty, a lot more shame, I had a lot more regrets and a lot more fear. Now it was live, like it was in my conscious mind. So what do you do with that, right? And I thought like, it can get worse than that. And actually going through my own experience and my own transformation, I understood that the generational trauma that I was carrying was about 100 times heavier than those trauma that I just talked to you about.
That's crazy.
That you had yourself by living
My
your
personal
life.
trauma.
Yeah. So do you think that nature or nurture is bigger when it comes to trauma? Because let's say because if it's generational trauma, then in a way you're born with it, right?
You are.
But with nurture, then you can get new traumas.
Yes.
And can you break that cycle of trauma so you don't pass it down to then your kids?
100%. You know, you come from, you said like a Christian background or Christian beliefs. I was raised Christian. So I'm totally, understanding where you're coming from. I think in the kind of Christian community, we'll call it about breaking a curse and the generational curses. What are generational curses? It's trauma that are being passed down.
Yeah. And that would, again, we can talk about hypogaine right now. It's really interesting. So when I watched your testimonial, right, you said in the beginning you were an addict, if I got it correctly, right?
Yeah, I dealt with addiction a big part of my life. And, I dealt with addiction. I dealt with, mental health. I dealt with insomnia. I dealt with depression. I dealt with a lot of anxiety, panic attacks. I dealt with different diagnostic. So in 2020, they gave me a diagnostic of being bipolar type 2 fast cycling. But they give this to you as being your identity. In, I would say the medical frame of North America.
Yeah.
I never accepted it. And people were telling me, well, the first step, Nick, is you're going to accept it. And I can't. This is not who I am. Those are actually symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
And I went on this journey, and it was hell and back. It was crucifixion and resurrection, over and over and over, trying to understand. Because there was something deeper in my soul that was telling me, this is not your identity.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that I'm a son of God.
Of course, we all are.
We all are.
Yeah.
I said, this is not my identity, you know? And so I went on this search, this inner search. And I've tried a lot of different things. And I love Gabor Mate. Gabor Mate is a sommité in regards to addiction, right? He actually opened a medical clinic in Vancouver.
Yeah.
And I think when you look at the radius where he actually opened his own medical clinic at the center of it, it is by radius the place on earth that there's more overdose and suicides due to addiction and mental health.
In the world?
In the world.
That's in Vancouver?
In Vancouver.
Really?
Wow.
And one thing that he says, one of his book, first paragraph, I think the first phrases in the paragraph, he's like, we have to stop asking why the addict, why the alcoholic, why the addiction? And we have to start asking the question, why the pain? And in all of his studies, and in everything that he has done, and how many people, you know, trauma resurgence therapy, everything that he has done, the root of pain and suffering. And one thing I need to say is that in this world, pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let that sink in for a second. But the root of pain and suffering is all related to trauma, personal trauma and generational trauma.
Mm-hmm.
So we're treating symptoms with a lot of medication. We're numbing the symptoms, hoping that people can survive, but everybody's surviving and nobody's living.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And also one thing I like is, of course, I agree, like, I'm mostly pro-Western, but when it comes, I feel like in the Western world, so West, Europe, and America, and Canada, I feel like we're too quick to give medications. Now, in my opinion, I feel like it's 50-50. I feel like some people sometimes need more medications than others, but I feel like we're too quick to jump the gun and give medications immediately. Like, I feel like sometimes the doctor can feel like it's depression. Well, honestly, the guy just needs to lose weight and move more and be more active and be more grateful and just go out more in nature and just complain less about life. Sometimes I feel like what you need is way more simpler than what you really think, in my opinion. And I feel like sometimes people, they get depressed, whatever, and then they start having like these complicated solutions. Okay, I need to do this so that I can do this. And then because I did that, I can do this. And then because of that, I'm going to be not depressed anymore. But it's actually way more simple than that. Like, in my opinion, life is way more simpler than people think. When I look at my granddad, who was from Serbia, born and raised in Serbia, he had nothing material, no goods. He was a farmer his entire life. He was a farmer, not poor, but a bit below middle class. And he was the happiest guy I ever knew. And he had way less material good. He lived it's not even a city, it's a village in Serbia with like 1,000 people there. He lived his entire life there and he was just happy, joyful. I guess joyful is a better word. He was just joyful. So that's why I feel like in the Western world, I feel like sometimes we're really quick to give medications, although some maybe more for physical pain or for physical problems. Maybe, I mean, I'm not against medications. Medications do play a part, but I feel like when it comes to depression, sometimes I feel like you just need to move more, eat healthier, don't be lazy, and don't be ungrateful, and just like be happier in life. Sometimes, in my opinion, I feel like that's the case. So I feel like I know what I want to talk about what you're promoting now, and this is like a partnership you guys are making, right?
So Nick is my good friend. We know each other for a couple of years now.
Okay,
and
nice.
We actually trained a couple of times together back then, before COVID. Then COVID happened, and a lot of shit happened for all of us, right?
Of course.
We got back together, like it's been a couple of months now. Training together and just like Nick is a friend, is a sponsor, but he's also like a mentor. You know, we talk about a lot of stuff, and I ask him about a lot of stuff about my life and everything, and we have always good talks. And he talked to me, of course, about ibogaine and iboga, about his what he did and his experience, and like we just talked about it, and then he asked me, hey, would that be something that would interest you to be sponsored by them, because they would like to actually do like a little documentary on you, before the fight, into the fight, and post fight, right? And the goal is to myself go and do the experience, because I also not only have traumas from my childhood, for sure, and
Everyone
said,
has.
the generational trauma, but I also probably have trauma about in my brain about all the punches. Yes, okay, I might have not been into the biggest war in the fight, but I've been getting punched in the head. It's been since I'm 16 years old. I spar every week,
And I think your brain stops fully developing when you're 25. Something of that age.
It's been since 25. Now I'm 33, almost 34 in a month and a half. So yes, for sure I have some brain trauma, even though I might not feel them 100% right now. For sure, it's part of me. So the goal is, yes, to go do the experience, and it really like interests me to go do it too. And like I said, we started with a simple sponsor that now is gonna get bigger and bigger, and I'm super grateful to have him. And that's why, like me, I don't want to, like, I didn't do the experience, so I'm not the one today who's gonna really talk about
it,
this. But that's why I wanted to have Nick here, so
Of
he
course.
can share a little bit with us and with the people that are listening.
Of course.
And like I said, I think it's one thing I can say is that this camp, and it's a thing I was not doing before, and it helped me so much, man. I did some breath work, and it's not not like
Nice.
with like you don't take nothing, but I had a coach, one of the Patnaud brothers, Sifu Stéphane Patnaud. He's been into he's in martial arts since ever. He's a Patnaud, so he has a school and everything, but he's been really into all the mental breath and the mental work that you need to do. So I've started to do, we did like almost once a week. Sometimes we couldn't not do it, but we did almost once a week of breath work. It's 1 hour of breath work, 1 hour and a half, and you have like this like a meditation, like you put some AirPods or whatever, and you listen to someone speak, and man, it's breathing like constantly for like an hour, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, but it's crazy, man. Because at the beginning you're there and you're breathing and you're like, oh.
Are you a bit skeptical in the beginning?
Well, yes, because you're
you're like breathing
am I fucking
outside.
here for an hour and a half? But then you start really like doing it. You do it. You're there. You're paying for this. So you do it. it. And after maybe 15 minutes, you're just like into the zone, and just you're doing it like, just you don't think about, oh, is it bullshit? Or no, you just fucking do it. And then it's crazy. Everything that popped up in my mind, a lot of souvenirs of when I was younger, some good, some bad. I thought about my family, bro. Legit, every session I was crying like a baby, man. Crying like
after breath work,
after like during and after when we're done, crying like a baby for like 5 minutes. But this is because we have so much
pumped up
inside, man. It's crazy inside here. So that's why I was like, when he started talking to me about ibogaine, I was like, bro, I'm doing the breath work, and I was hearing a lot about ayahuasca, and I was like, man, if the breath work bring me to this state, I want to see what ayahuasca. But he's like, no, not fuck ayahuasca, but he's like, no, you gotta like. So we started talking about this, and then he came up with a sponsor, and I cannot wait to do the experience.
No, but that's why I'm happy, because like trauma, fear, whatever, it's something all human beings have. So I like when men are capable, especially men who are seen as, all macho and alpha. And, before it's been like, oh, alpha men, they don't talk about their traumas. They don't talk about fear. They don't talk about whatever. But so having people like you, a pro MMA fighter, talking about it openly, that's going to help a lot of people and make them realize that, it's a normal process of living life. Having trauma, having fear of whatever, having fear of whatever it can be. We all have fears. It's normal. Even if you're seen as like the toughest guy, I'm Julien Leblanc, MMA professional fighter, we all have fears. And like he said it right now, he cried like a baby. Yeah. We all cried, right? There's nothing unmanly, in my opinion, about crying. There's nothing wrong there. And that's why
it's a release.
Yeah, exactly.
But we tell our kids, like, we try to calm them down and say, oh, don't cry. Through all of my experience, I learned when my kids are crying, I'm like, cry, babe. Yeah. Cry, baby. It's okay. Let it out, man. Because all of my life, I suppressed everything. Because a man doesn't cry. A man needs to perform.
Exactly.
I need to be perfect.
Yeah.
It's all about the image. It's all about the the external things that we're trying to gather or that we're trying to get to feel the God hole. That will never feel the God hole. It might bring pleasure, but pleasure is very éphémère, as we say in French, right? It comes and goes.
Yeah.
Happiness is a state of being,
Yeah.
right? And you tell people, be happy, be joyful, be at peace, be present. What the fuck does that mean? How does that feel, right? Like people kept telling me, okay, how the fuck do I get there?
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm so much in my mind that is actually lying to me, and I'm always playing this ping pong game between the past. And in the past, there's what? Regrets, guilt, and shame. That equals what? Depression. Or I'm in the fucking future.
Anxiety.
Fear equals what? Anxiety, panic attacks. And we're playing this game, but we're never present. And if you think about the present, that's all that exists. Right here, right now, what time is it?
This moment right now.
1:51.
Yeah.
1:55 doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It's not the reality. 1:50 doesn't exist anymore. It's gone. There's nothing that I can do about it. And the truth being said, I'm sure you heard that, You want to make God laugh? Make a plan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I had plans 25 years ahead.
God laughs.
Like, I mean, man, he was having it was a comedy show.
You know how they say man makes plans, God laughs.
Exactly. And the truth being said is that we have a society that is not present. And the presence of God is only in the present. That's the gift.
Yeah.
Here and now. But we are so being pulled from things that are exterior to us. Social media. Like, again, as you were talking, the cars, the houses, what I'm going to do, the next trip.
Material goods, yeah.
But we're missing the fucking miracles. Because the miracles are happening here and now.
Yeah.
Like the moments and the memories are being created here and now, but we're not fucking there.
I know, yeah.
Because really, you're not there here.
Yeah.
You're there in your heart and in your soul. And if there's something that came out of the other side of my transformation, a lot of people, like I can explain it, I can express it, and we'll talk a bit more about it. You have to experience it for yourself. But if there's one thing, people say, how do you feel? I'm present. I went to a soccer tournament with my son on the other side of my sacred ceremony with ibogaine, God and ibogaine. And normally I would be on my phone, I'd be distracted. I wouldn't be present. After 4 days, my son, 11 years old, comes to me. He's like, Dada, he's like, thank you for being so present.
That's amazing.
I was like, I felt it. But now my son telling me thank you to be so present. Can't put a price tag to that.
True.
I imagine. I don't have kids, but I imagine.
And for me, people say, oh, well, how do you know you're present? Because I'm at peace. And my peace is my compass. And as soon as I'm starting to feel my peace that dissipate, it's now a trigger. Where am I? I'm in the past, or I'm in the fucking future. But I'm not in the present. Because right here, right now, that's the moment, man.
That's the most
the
important.
miracle.
Yeah.
We're breathing. We're alive. In the past, in the future, I'm surviving. In the present, I'm living.
I like that.
Yeah, no, that's true. I agree. And that's why, in my opinion, that's why ever since I was born, ever since I was little, religion, I was born into Christianity, Orthodox, and then Protestantism. I was born into it. And how I saw, why, like, for me, religion, what it does to me is when I start thinking about the future, as being someone who's ambitious, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to accomplish this, that. When I start thinking about the future, what's the point? It's just going to bring me anxiety, and I'm just going to be into a time. I'm going to be thinking about a time that's not right now. The only thing I can do is what I have right now. What can I do right now to help me get closer to whatever my dream is or my goal? If you look at the past, like you said, you're always going to think about the bad times, bad emotions you had, whatever. So in my mind, how I see it is you always have to be grateful. So whatever happens to your life, even though in the beginning it may seem like, why the fuck did this happen? Like, let's say when your fighter dropped out last second, you have valid reasons to be really ungrateful. Why the fuck is this always happening to me? Why does the world hate me? Why does life always go against me? Blah, blah. Or you can see that maybe there's a reason behind everything. Like you said, man makes plans, God laughs, because God sees the bigger picture that we cannot see it. In my opinion, that's how I see religion. And that's what religion helps me a lot is the future, you're never gonna know what's gonna happen. So I put all my trust in God. Well, at least I try. I try to put all my trust in God. I'm human, I'm not perfect. Of course, sometimes I'm gonna go drift away and start thinking about the future with my ego and whatever. But I'm gonna put all my trust in God. I'm gonna say today, right now, be present. What can I do right now today that was gonna be the best for me and get me closer to my dreams and my goals? What's the best I can do? I'm gonna do my best every single day. What happens, happens. I cannot control things. I'm not going to think about things I cannot control. What's the point? I cannot control it. You know, there's like this one quote I really love. It's, if you have a problem and there's something you can do about it, why stress? There's something you can do about it. If you have a problem and there's nothing you can do about it, why stress? There's nothing you can do about it.
But what do you actually control?
In my opinion, only myself, free will. That's how I see it, yeah.
We don't control anything that is outside of us.
Yeah.
One of the things, I was raised religion. I see things differently right now. I have an amazing relationship, you know, and a question I have for you is, you know, where is God?
Mm-hmm. Everywhere. In my opinion, everywhere.
Everywhere.
Everything, this, that, you, everything. That's how I see it.
And within you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course.
Right?
Yeah.
And for me, God is in the garden of my heart and soul. For me, what religion did to me for a long time is that in religion, I feel that religion is man-made. I feel that the presence of God and spirituality and being able to be connected. And I think that's what happens a lot in our society. Again, we're so in our head that we're disconnected from, the garden of our soul and our heart. Mm-hmm. And to me, that's where God lives within me.
Yeah.
And I think that religion has always created a certain frame where you have to go through a priest or a pastor or a prophet to get to God. When actually, no. Well, for what I believe here and now is that, no, I got direct access. So why would I go through someone or somewhere else, right? Someone else. And a lot of the things that I see in regards to the frame of religion is that, you know, God is in heaven, hell, Lucifer, Jesus. It's always outside of us. It gets us outside of us. But the game is an internal game. Yeah. And through my own experience and transformation, I realized I went to fucking hell. Within me. Within me. I would call it, I was dealing with my demons. Within me.
Yeah.
That was the battle. But the solution was also within me.
Yeah.
God was within me. Mm-hmm. And I had a choice to make. Right? So I feel that a lot of time for me, the frame of religion, more of what I see as the institution, right, is getting us a lot of time outside of ourselves instead of really understanding that it's all happening within us. Mm-hmm. And that's been a big part of what brings me so much peace now. Mm-hmm. And because I used to fear so many things outside of me. But again, we don't control nothing that is outside of us.
Of course. That's why, in my opinion, because you know how in the Western world, I feel like that's where we have more mental problems, that we can say, that we get diagnosed more. I feel like maybe because in the Western world, it's also the place in the world where we went the furthest away from religion. Now, of course, religion, in my opinion, is man-made. It's a book, someone wrote it, that's how I see it. It's not, I don't see a book falling from the sky. That's not how I see it. I know it's man-made, but in my opinion, what religion does is it's personal. You know how Gandhi says there's as much religions as there are human beings on planet Earth. So that's how I see it. But how I see religion is it's there to help me be grateful, not think about the past, and not worry about the future, because that's a normal human feeling to worry about the future, what's going to happen, this and that. So, and of course, that's why one thing I feel like Protestantism, you know, when you said that you don't like that you have to go to see a priest, a prophet, whatever, to get to God. Well, that's why my parents, we switched to Protestants, because Protestants, it's directly you and God. That's what Protestants, they protested Catholics saying that when you do something wrong, when you kill a person, you can just give money to the church and you're gonna be okay. You're gonna go to I forgot the name, you know, you have heaven, hell, purgatory. You're gonna stay in purgatory for a couple of years and then you're okay. That's when the Protestants, Martin Luther and many other, Calvin and many other people, they're like, doesn't make sense. The relation between God and me, why is there someone in the middle? Why is there a priest taking money? Why is there a prophet taking money, a false prophet, or a human being taking money? He just wants money. So that's why I feel like Protestants, in my opinion, that's why we switched. And that's why I feel like that's the newest form of Christianity. But in my opinion, religion, I mean, the Western world, I feel like we went really like further from it. But I feel like religion is just a way of, God is just a way of saying the universe. Whatever you believe in a higher power. That's how I see it. I don't think there's a guy sitting in the sky with a big beard and he's God. Oh, do this and that. I don't say it like that. But it's just a way of like finding peace. Like you said, it's all about being present and finding peace. And I feel like religion is a really nice way.
Yeah.
Like I don't know for you, like when you're in training camp, like you're facing really hard workouts. You want to, of course, you want to cheat on your diet. You don't feel like working out because yesterday you got punched in the face. Or like, fuck, it hurts. Now I have to do it again. Like, how do you find peace in then gaining energy to go work out and whatever?
Well, for sure, man. Like, and I believe in God too, and I believe that God is energy, you know, and there's the energy everywhere. So I think that, you know, to get back into the focus, you just gotta sometimes just take a step back and like he's saying, just okay, why don't today I don't think about my, like often I tell my girlfriend, like, and it's not her fault because I come back home late. I did a bunch of trainings and she wants to talk about my fight. And I'm just like, hey, like right now, it's not that I know it's coming, but I just did this all day, all week. I'm drained out, tired. I just want to enjoy the moment with you guys, think about something else, do something else, not think about the fight for tonight and tomorrow we'll start over. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So it's like, just like you said, man, be in the present moment with my son, with my wife. Just do something, man, that will have nothing to do with the fight. It doesn't mean to go at McDonald's and eat shit. But I mean, sometimes it's stupid, but sometimes when you're at the end of the big training, man, I feel drained. Okay, tonight, let's eat spaghetti with meatballs and garlic bread, like something like that. Something like that will make me feel good. And like I said, I don't feel guilt. I don't feel, because I know that in this moment, this is what I need. And this will just make me better the next morning. Just not think about what's going to happen tomorrow, the fight that's coming in 2-3 weeks, whatever. Just be in the moment right now. Enjoy my time. Yes, it's going to go fast because life goes that fast.
Really fast, yeah.
You're still going to enjoy, and the next morning you'll wake up and you'll feel like you took 2-3 days off, and it's like, let's go. So that's my go-to. And even sometimes, man, I will just take 2 days off, you know what I mean? And do something else.
Listen to your body.
Just listen to the body, listen to the mind. And it's often like, for sure, like the body will always follow. But you got to remember, sometimes you're drained here. This is where you're tired. You know what I mean?
And that's your most powerful tool.
Yeah, because like when I go train in Florida, it's so hard. And like my body he doesn't want to go to the training, but I still go. The body will follow all the time. But sometimes you got to just take care of what's inside here. I think that's the most important. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Discipline equals freedom.
And I think, you know, when you say that the mind is the most powerful tool, I think it can be the most powerful tool, but it can be also a tool that can destroy
exactly.
you.
Yeah. Exactly.
Of course.
And I think the question we need to ask ourselves is, who's actually empowering? Who's activating? Who's leading my mind?
Yeah.
And if it's not your soul and your heart, then you're fucked.
Yeah, because all the bad things can come in and fuck you up.
Because with your soul and your heart, there's no ego.
All the regrets.
And only humans have egos. Like animals, they don't live in the past or the future. They just live in the present.
They don't care, man. They don't, like, animals will kill you and just...
Like, I know it's funny to talk about animals, but it's actually true. Like, at the end of the day, we're animals. We're all human beings, but we're animals. We're the same as them, in a way. They don't live in the past. They don't live in the future. They just live in the present. That's why they don't have, like, animals don't have depression or whatever, you know what I mean? It's just something because of our ego. Like you said, intuition, soul. That's where I feel like you said in the beginning, that's where God actually is. God doesn't talk to you like we're talking right now. He talks to you through your soul, through your intuition. And how can you listen to your soul and your intuition? When you silence your ego.
And through your emotions. I did a certification in neuroscience. In neuroscience, they don't talk about emotion. They talk about the 6 main energies.
Okay.
Being love, angers. And what about me? All of my life, so many times, for 43 years, I suppressed emotion because I didn't have the right to feel a certain way. So I suppress it, and then I would get into performance. I'm going to do this. I feel I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to freaking do a cold plunge. I'm going to freaking like get mad at someone. I would get into do, right? To try to numb and not feel and suppress. And I think that was a big part also of what I've discovered in my healing is this there's in neuroscience, we talk about this body of suffering.
Mm-hmm.
And every time we suppress emotion, that body of suffering is actually getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And at a certain point, let's call it, it becomes like almost a monster. Like it becomes so more powerful than us. And that's where depression comes in, anxiety comes in, like panic attacks, insomnia, so on and so forth. Because then what starts happening is we try to create the solution from our mind. And we're so disconnected, right? And what I wanted to say in regards to that is that emotion, I see it now, again, it's energy. It's a signal. So what about if emotion is actually a divine language? And behind every emotion, there's actually a message. But because we suppress it, we don't take time to listen to it. Because that's the language of the soul. Your intuition, but also all of your emotions. They're not good or bad. You know, a lot of people, that's a good emotion, that's a bad emotion. No, some are comfortable, some are uncomfortable, but each one of them are carrying a message for you.
Mm-hmm. And the best way to hear that is by silencing your ego. What would you say?
Yeah. Like you got to drop into the garden of your heart and soul.
And I like how you said that you guys learned about 6 different, what was it again? 6 different emotions?
Well, yes. And in neuroscience, they don't call it, they call it energies.
And are those 6 energies the opposite of the 7 deadly sins?
Yes. Because one of the energies is love.
Yeah.
Right?
So, because I just thought about it.
Emotions, but, you know.
Because maybe with those 6 emotions, you can kill those 7 deadly sins, you know, like greed, envy, anger, wrath, and all of that stuff.
Some of those energy are anger. But again, you can look at it as a sin. You can look at it as it's bad. Or what about if it's a signal that is actually trying to give you a message?
Yeah. That's true, because sometimes, I mean, anger, I feel like anger is always seen as bad, but sometimes anger can maybe be good.
Well, yes.
Exactly, right?
Your body's speaking, God's speaking to you.
Yeah, no, and like violence. No, violence is always seen as bad, but sometimes, just like in nature,
what do
between
you do with
animals.
Anger?
Exactly.
Right? If you use anger and I punch him in the face, well, then you're probably going to punch me back. But anyway, that's another discussion.
That's another time.
Exactly.
Another time.
This time I sparred with this guy, I think I never got it. It's so fucking hard, but anyway.
Really.
Anyway, but what about if, and this is how I live my life now. I'm like, every time I feel something, I'm like, it's not good or bad. Like, I'm feeling angry right now. Okay. I might be, maybe I'm in the past. Maybe I'm in the fucking future. Maybe I'm not in the present.
Yeah.
Or maybe, you know what, I'm getting ready to do something and it's actually not in coherence where what I should be doing. It's not in alignment with my purpose or my divine mandate in life. And there's a signal that's telling me, I feel that when you have an emotion, it's like God's knocking on your heart. And then, you're not responding. He knocks a little harder. You're not responding. And then the anger becomes, right? Because there's a message. But if we just stop for a second and be present and listen, we'll get the answer.
Yeah.
And sometimes it might come from a friend, having a conversation with a friend about my anger, or it should be suddenly it's going to click. And this is how I've been living my life compared to like, I'm 44 now, but for like 42 years. Like I remember at 42, I didn't even know the difference between a feeling and an emotion.
Yeah.
Like for me, it was all the same fucking shit.
Yeah.
And it's just gone fucking suppress that shit and let's fucking go.
How would you describe the difference now between feeling and emotion?
Well, I think that from my understanding in neuroscience, the combination of feelings equals an emotion, but it needs the multiplication of a few feelings that will equal an emotion. But there's different school of thoughts in regards to that.
Of course, yeah. Just like everything, yeah.
For me, when I feel something now, I'm just, okay, God's trying to talk to me. I'm going to just be present.
So like you disconnect yourself in a way from that emotion, but you allow yourself to live that emotion.
Well, I don't disconnect. I just sit with it. I'll breathe, breath work. I'll meditate. I'll have a conversation. I'll call a good friend. I say, bro, man, you know, I want to fucking knock this shit out of you. Like right now, like this, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and one of the things is that even when we feel emotion, if you do something that makes me feel a certain way, it is actually, well, again, that's what I believe. It's not your fault in the sense that you're, most of the time, you're being a mirror of something that's actually happening within me. But I'm giving you the power to make me feel a certain way.
Yeah.
I'm giving out my power.
Exactly. When you get angry at someone, he controls you.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's Mike Tyson talked about it a lot, and I agree. Whenever you get angry at someone because someone did something that you cannot control, I cannot control what you're gonna do right now. You can get up right now and punch me in the face. I cannot control you.
That's right.
So if I get angry at something that you do, you say something or whatever, I'm the loser. I lost because I gave you power. I gave you the ability to make me feel a certain way
To control you.
Exactly. So
Not outside of you, but within you.
exactly.
And that's
even
the
worse.
only thing you control.
Yeah. And that's also one question I wanted to ask both of you guys is how ego, and like you said, whenever before when you used to feel a negative emotion, you would say, okay, well, instead of feeling it and understanding it, I would go into do. Jim, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go do that. But that's where I'm like, is trauma always bad?
It's not, the gym or the cult or what, it's not bad by itself. It's a good thing.
Exactly.
But the fact that I'm not sitting with it and I'm not understanding what's the fucking message behind it, that's the issue, right? And then I go into performance. I get into doing to numb it.
Yeah.
Instead of sitting with it, having a conversation about it, journaling, praying, meditating, breathing.
Walking.
And go in nature, walk, go barefoot, get grounded. And the truth is, you will always get the fucking answer. But we gotta go. I gotta get this done. I'm in the future. I'm not in the present anymore. Suppress that shit, bro. Let's fucking go, And at the end of the day, then we come to a point that we're suppressing so much that then a little thing happens and we fucking explode. And we're like, why did I lose it on this? Well, that's not it.
Something else.
It's everything else that I've been suppressing within me.
It just built
like
up.
For me, it was a baggage of 42 years of suppressing. On top of my personal trauma, on top of the generational trauma that brought me wanting to commit suicide in June of this year.
Yeah, no, I understand. Like one thing I always ask myself is trauma always bad? Because let's say if you use trauma to accomplish great things, you're going to accomplish maybe great things, but maybe you're still going to be depressive deep down. Like how many people have accomplished like crazy things, but deep down they're not at peace. Like, right? So I always saw trauma like, I guess of a mix of both, I guess, because, human beings, we're all going to have trauma always. Like we're born with it, like you said, generational trauma. And just by being young, you're going to get childhood trauma and then later on trauma. It's just normal. But I feel like it can be good. It can also be bad. I feel like it's just a mix of both. How you use it maybe is like, I don't know what your opinion guys are regarding that, like personal experience.
I think it's all a gift.
Yeah.
I think every part of it is a blessing. If you want to grow a plant or a lot of time a garden, what do you put in the garden? What do you put in the soil?
Water, sun.
And shit. Trauma, suppressed emotions, right?
Yeah.
Like these are the different ingredients that gets you to a certain point. And there's one word, and so many people told me, you have to surrender. What the fuck does that feel like? What is it? Yeah, I'm trying. Like, how do I surrender?
Yeah.
Right? And I think these trauma and these emotions brings you to a certain point that you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. Like it brought me to the point that when I made the decision to actually go to Transcend, I remember being in the airport, calling my wife and say, where the fuck am I going? Like, what the fuck's going on? I feel I'm on this hedge and I'm gonna jump. And then I heard this voice in the garden of my heart and soul. But it was like palpable as we're talking right now. And it said, son, this is what true surrender feels like. Yes, you're going to jump. But the thing that you don't see, it's the beautiful wings I've created for you. Fly, my son.
I know, I agree, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
It's powerful.
Yeah, it's powerful. And you know how they say that when you allow yourself to be vulnerable, that's when you're the strongest. That's when you're at your most powerful. When you allow yourself not to be fake vulnerable, but to be truly vulnerable, to talk about everything that's bothering you, to go in and face the unknown, face your fears. Because when you're facing your fears, in a way, you're putting yourself in a situation where you are vulnerable because you're getting situational stress and you don't know what's going to happen because you've never been in that situation before. So you're putting yourself to be vulnerable, but that's when you're most powerful, when you allow yourself to be vulnerable.
You're talking to a fighter.
Exactly.
You're talking to guys that are actually like just in Wave and Wars, the documentary that came out about ibogaine and 30 veteran that went to Mexico, and it's been studied by Stanford University. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Beautiful, amazing documentary. I would recommend it to anyone to watch that documentary. Waves and War on Netflix just came out.
Oh, it's on Netflix. Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
it's on Netflix.
Nice.
And soldier to fucking surrender? I'm gonna fucking shoot myself before I surrender. Asking a fighter to surrender? You're gonna have to fucking break my arm or choke me. You know?
Yeah.
Most of them won't even tap out. Like, just choke me. I'll pass out, but I won't tap out.
Yeah.
But what if true power is on the other side of that?
Yeah.
What if true power is actually coming to a point and surrendering is surrendering to what now I see and I call a new state of consciousness, where you get a new perspective. You see, anger, trauma, fear lives in a certain state of consciousness. And in that state, there's a lot of density. And whatever in life that you will actually it's going to come back to me. But anyway, in that state is, if I'm trying to resolve anger or trauma or fear with more trauma, more fear, and more anger, what are going to actually be the results?
Yeah.
More trauma, more anger, more fear,
100%.
right? When you get to a different state of consciousness where there's actually, and to get from one state to the other state, I personally believe that there's only one force, or let's call it true power, and it's in total surrender.
Sure.
But then when you get to that state, in that state, that's where presence is. That's where peace. That's what actually my own sacred journey with God and ibogaine brought me to take the veil off my ego and my eyes. And I'm able to start seeing from the eyes of my soul and my heart with a new perspective on life. And understanding that the true richness, like, you know, I think that financially I had great success. In business, I had great success. I made a lot. I lost a lot. I had a lot of challenges, a lot of successes. And even at the top, I had it all, but I didn't feel, I was not a free man. And freedom is on the other side of surrendering, because you can't buy peace. You can't buy joy.
No, literally, like you said, you had everything.
You can't buy presence.
Yeah. No.
To be in the present
And
moment,
time, yeah.
right?
Can't
But
buy
sometimes
time.
you gotta fucking white knuckle it for so fucking long to get to a point in life that all these ingredients that we're talking about, trauma, fears, suppressed, you know, emotions, so on and so forth, brings you to a point. And I think that's why a lot of people commit suicide.
Yeah.
You come to the end of yourself. But at that point, you can go right or left. And for me, like, you know, it was completely a divine intervention. Like in June of this year, I had been dealing now for 5 years of different diagnostic. I tried, you know, when they gave me the diagnostic at the beginning of 2020, 2 years, 10 hospitalization, 9 medication. I became a fucking zombie, man. Nothing worked. I remember coming out of the 10th hospitalization on the 15th of December, 2021, on my birthday. And I said, God, if I don't get a miracle, I'm going to blow my fucking mind. Like, I can live like, and they were telling me that, oh, that diagnostic, it's your identity now. You're going to have to take those medication for the rest of your fucking life. I was like, no, I couldn't accept it. And they were saying, Nick, you got to accept it. That's where your healing going to start. I'm like, fuck this shit.
And what kind of life would that be? Medication for the rest of your life?
No, I would tell my wife, I'm like, where's Nicholas?
Yeah.
Like, is Nicholas ever going to come back? Like, I didn't recognize who I was becoming.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, this can be. This can be. And at that point, it was not, I would never looked at it as a gift or as a fucking blessing. It felt like a curse. And then I went on this journey of doing like neurofeedback and acupuncture and trauma resurgence therapy and rehab and, go to the gym, nutrition, went to different special clinics where, I got like my blood tested, like urine testing, and then they give me the right supplements. They looked at all of the different biomarker, and like I went all out. And then I went almost like 1 year without medication. The only medication that I kept at that point was a sleeping medication. But everything else regarding the diagnostic, I stopped. And I went almost 1 year. And then I had an episode. And to give a little bit of context about what's an episode for me, I could feel a bit off. And the next morning, I wake up, I'm completely dissociated from reality. I'm paralyzed. I'm in hell.
Mentally or physically paralyzed?
Physically, mentally. I can even pick up the phone and talk to someone. I can even talk to my wife. I can even pray. I'm so dissociated. And I want to die. And the pain and the suffering is so fucking intense. It's humanly unbearable. Mm-hmm. So then I'm using more sleeping medication to try to numb the pain.
Yeah.
And get myself to sleep, because that's the only time that I don't suffer.
Just like many people used, like Heath Ledger, Michael Jackson, Elvis Presley, even they all used sleeping medication. Yeah. And if you can't sleep, imagine how, like, I don't know personally, I never had insomnia, knock on wood, but I know how personally it has to be, your brain has to be so like all over the place for you to not even be able to do a simple human basic nature thing as
you
sleeping.
Go crazy, man.
You have to sleep.
You fucking go crazy.
I imagine, man.
You want to sleep, you're tired, you can't sleep.
Yeah.
So long story short, I had an episode almost 1 year after I stopped all the medication. Mm-hmm. And I was doing pretty good. I was getting back on track. I was starting to feel myself again. Boom, that episode came from nowhere. And then the battle in my mind, well, maybe I am the diagnostic, Of
course.
But there was something deep down in my soul that told me, this is not your identity. This is not who you are. You got to keep fighting. So I kept fighting. And then I went almost 9 months. I had another episode. And then actually, September 2023, there was another episode, and that one was actually really, really bad. And then I started to do trauma resurgence therapy.
Okay.
But then a lot of my trauma that were in my subconscious mind started to come into my conscious mind, and then it even got worse. So then the episodes started happening like every 3-4 months. And normally what would happen is that for a while I would get to the hospital, they would give me some medication, and then I would snap out and come back to myself. Like I was and then I would get back and I was like, holy shit, man. But now I would fall into performance because I just lost fucking 3 weeks. Where the business partner, like, where the fuck is Nick? My family, I'm like, my kids, like everybody's like, oh, okay, he came back. Wow.
And but are you truly back? That's the question.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And then in May of 2025, on the 17th of May, and through all of this, though, I've been with my wife for 23 years, 17 years.
Congratulations,
and she's been fucking immovable. And every time I would tell her, I said, how? Like, how do you stay? Like, why? Or like, how? And she would say something to me. She would say, because I always saw the Jesus in you.
Amen.
Amen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Amen.
And I'm like, no. She's like, yeah. And it's going to be okay. And in my ceremony, my sacred ceremony, she was holding a fucking kingdom, bro. And it was burning down. And she was getting all burnt. And she would be fucking immovable.
That's crazy.
That's when you know you have a real one.
Shout out to her.
That's when you know you have a real one. I don't know your wife, but shout out to her, man.
She's
a real one. That's when you know.
She's the real star of the show.
You know how they say, like, behind every successful man, there's a fucking boss of a woman. You know how they say that? And now, like, everything you talked about, there's so many ways we can go. But now I feel like we can focus more on ibogaine. And what are you? You never did it, right? Ibogaine. I think you sent me videos of McGregor doing it, many MMA fighters, because like when we think about it, MMA, out of all these sports, MMA are like the modern day gladiators, right? It's like, can I have a more fucked up sport? Yeah. So like, and then you have to go in the state where you face trauma. You have to go in a state where you literally have no power, where you're normally in a sport where you have all control and all power, and you're in a sport where you want to control the other guy. You want to fuck up the other guy, quote unquote, fuck up the other guy. Yeah. You're in a sport, but then you have to go in the completely opposite state and tell yourself, now I just have to let myself go. Yeah. So if you can, because I don't really know that much about ibogaine, if you can give us more intel about it and how it could help a guy like Julien Leblanc, or just an MMA fighter in general. And of course, also, what are you looking to get out of it? As the MMA fighter, professional MMA fighter, you've been fighting MMA since you're 16. It's been whole your life. You're 33 right now. It's been a big part of your identity, right? And it's really physical. So like, are you going there more for mentally, physically, both? What are you looking to get out of it?
I like what you just said. It's mostly physical, but it, like, you're right, but it's mostly here. And for me, like I said, with the breath work and everything, my coaches could tell you, if you watch a lot of my fights, you know me now, like, I'm a slow starter because I don't believe in myself. Even after training for what's going to be 18 years now, 18 years of training, I still don't believe in myself. Like, I'm working on it a lot, but it's a lot about the traumas I did. And I mean, I'm not saying I had a super nice childhood. Like, my parents, like, they still today support me a lot and everything, but we come from a different background, like that, you know, you got to go to school and you got to go to government and just like, you know, have this kind of career. And like, not that everything else is not good, but it's like, all my life, like,
don't be the black sheep.
No, but I was the black sheep, like, all my life, you know, like, all my family were hockey players. I was like, all my cousins, everything, and they were all like super high level. I was the only goaltender of all the family, all the cousins, like, and I was always like the black sheep, like, you know, even in the family parties, like, not really the one that people would go see and like ask, hey, how you do, or you know what I mean? Like, not saying that was alone, but I was just different, you know?
You felt different than others,
different. But anyways, there's a lot of things, but for sure, like me, it's in my head, and I have a lot of hard time to see myself as good as I am, because I know I'm good. It's just that when it's time to fucking show it and show up when the fight starts, that is my biggest problem. So yes, the last fight I came out super calm, super nice. That was amazing. I need to feel good always like this, regardless who's the opponent. So I'm really trying to go and get, like, just, man, be healed with this in my head. Like, even like, man, and I'm not shy to say it, like, let's say I would have to do a business move or something like that, or like, I will, you know, always try to get like the how you call it in English, like the la validation, tu sais, I will ask my family, my girlfriend, like, you know, like, I have a hard time to take a decision from myself, and I think that a big part of it is because, like, and my mom, I love her so much, like, she's an amazing mom. She always was there for me, and I never missed of anything, but she had a hard time when I was young to let me fall, you know? She was like, if I would not do my homework, she would like fucking do it, and then just like be like, hey, you're not going out of your room for a week, but I did your homework, you know. But it's not like, that was not the way to make me learn, you know. And
because your mom, she loves you, right?
Oh, exactly.
Like, moms sometimes can be overprotective, and that's why a father figure is really important, because in my opinion, women and men are different. And what a dad can bring is different than what a mom can bring. You need both, in my opinion. That's why having a father figure, especially for little boys, is really fucking important, because facing failure young is really fucking important. That's how you learn. That's the only way you can learn, is facing failure. If you only always win and everything is given to you, you're going to become not competent because you didn't acquire any skills.
Exactly.
And you're going to be, quote unquote, a little bitch, because whatever happens later on in life, whenever someone says you're not good enough, you're this or that, you're gonna start crying because, oh, but my mom said I was the best, but now the world doesn't think that, blah blah blah. So you're not gonna be ready for the outside world, which the world can be really, really fucking painful, man.
Exactly. So, like, man, you just said it. But anyway, that being said, is like, as much as I was super lucky, like I said, really lucky as a child, and never missed of nothing, and I had a nice childhood, but like, there's things that go deeper, like those things, and like, man, same thing, like regrets, like, fuck, I could have made so much money back then if I would have not done this, if I would have done this, blah blah. And it's like, right now I'm here today, and I'm a grown man, 33 years old. Fucking everyone I see are like, man, you're a killer, man.
Yeah, everyone likes you.
Why people think this about me, but I don't. You know what I mean? And like, as of right now, where I want to go in the sport, if I want to go to the UFC or PFL, or like, I'm gonna fight killers all the time,
of course,
and I cannot be mentally unstable and not believe in myself. I need to get this, and the breath work helped a lot. But I mean, I need to go reach my full potential. And I really do think that with ibogaine, with the experience, I can reach that potential. And that's what I'm looking for. And also like we talked about, all the brain trauma, everything, like I want to get healed right now, right? So that's what I mean. Yeah, nobody.
So you want to improve your game on all aspects, because if you're facing a UFC, which is the biggest stage of MMA, like you said, facing killer after killer, the greatest fighters in the world. So now you have to be really like about tweaking little things that maybe someone who isn't a big professional, he wouldn't care about the little things, but in your level, you have to tweak the little things. And ibogaine is going to be there to help you mentally so that you don't maybe not become a slow starter anymore, so you believe more in yourself.
Yeah,
right?
and like just in the fight, man, like it's not only being a slow starter, but it's just being the best I can be. And right now I'm not the best I can be because I'm too much in my head all the time and I just don't believe in myself. And I'm not scared to say it.
Of course. Everyone's like that,
It's
believe
been
me.
a real battle for me to believe in myself, and my coaches could tell you, like everyone that's close to me could tell you, they know me. So it's not like I'm not hiding it anymore, I'm just speaking it out loud, but I'm gonna get what I need to fix this. You know what I mean?
Of course. And no matter who you are, we're all facing battles. Like you can sometimes look at a guy, you're like, oh, this guy has everything. Like someone can look at you, like you said openly that you wanted to commit suicide in June. Someone can look at him. He's in shape. He's
nice,
strong. He's making a lot of money. Nice face. Everything does that. Why is he having a depression? But we all have battles deep down, and no one knows how hard it is for everyone. Like I said, if you're literally Elvis fucking Presley, you literally have everything. Why the fuck did he have depression? Yeah. So you never know what someone's going through. No matter how accomplished he seems, no matter who he becomes, you're always gonna have battles inside, man.
Exactly.
And that's why I want to know. I mean, because you're the only one who has experience with ibogaine and everything that he did. Yeah. Could you walk us through the experience and walk us through the how it works and everything?
Yeah, and just to kind of connect the dots. So in that last episode in June, so it started the 17th of May on our marriage anniversary, me and my wife. So I woke up that morning and boom, full-blown episode. And that what I was unable to snap out. Like I tried everything that I've tried before. So I came to a point, for the first time, I lost hope. And I had a lot of suicidal ideation before, but I was still grabbing on to hope. And it's like I hadn't tried everything. Like a lot of people that have been in the mental illness world or even the addiction world, they looked at me and they were just waiting for the phone call. Nick overdosed or Nick killed himself, because Nick has tried everything and it's not working. Like, what else? That was like the answer, or right to that question. Like, he has tried everything. And that for me, that was my fight. That was my fucking battle. It was me against me. And so finally in June, for the first time I had a plan. And that plan was happening on the night that my son...
Take your time. Don't worry, bro. Take your time. Take your time. You're amongst... Take your time. Breathe it. Let it out.
My son had his year end, like, it was a play, like...
theater?
Like
theater.
a theater play, And I was driving to the school. And I was crying. I'm like, this is the last time I'll see my son. And in the parking lot of the school, got out of the car, walking towards the school, and I meet a friend. And we start talking, and suddenly he starts crying. And he's like, I'm so sorry, bro. It's like, I forgot. I'm like, what the fuck you're talking about? Why are you crying? He's like, 2 years ago, I went to Costa Rica to a place called Rhythmia. And I did an ayahuasca ceremony. He's like, in my third ceremony, the vivid voice of God came to me and said, you need to tell Nicholas that he needs to do ibogaine. And he's like, I forgot to tell you. And I'm like, what the fuck is ibogaine? So that night, I'm sitting down and I'm going to go get more fucking drugs to start to get high and not fucking kill myself, or I'm going to fucking do it. It's like left or right.
And you only have two choices.
And I have my phone in my hands and bing. And I look down and he sent me a message with a link to a podcast of someone that was talking about ibogaine.
It's crazy.
And I hope that this can, whatever we're doing here, can do the same that it did
Help
to me.
someone, yeah.
And I started listening to it. And suddenly I started crying, bro. And I could feel God. And I could feel this beautiful plant that he has created, the medicine, calling my soul. My soul leaped within me. Like, I've never felt that before. Like, you can hear your heart. It was like, my soul. And it was calling me. So that night, I didn't get more drugs and I didn't kill myself. And the next morning I got on a call and I started calling fucking clinics. I freaking chat GPT that shit and I'm like the best fucking top clinics in Mexico, started calling them. And not even a week after, I was at Transcend. And then the story that I shared when I was in the airport calling my wife, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm going to fucking heat the bark of a fucking plant
Like,
and get
what am I
high
doing?
and this gonna freaking resolve my problems?
Yeah, skeptical, of course.
Fear.
Mm-hmm.
My soul was saying yes, but my mind was trying to lie to me. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on.
What are
You've
you
tried
doing,
everything.
bro?
Fucking
Yeah.
just kill yourself. Like,
Yeah.
end it. You know, for the sake of your family and your kids, like, everybody, just fucking kill yourself.
Mhm.
And it saved my fucking life, man. It transformed my life. It's called Transcend Clinic. And I transcended. And it's the beautiful thing with this clinic is that it's medical base, it's science based, and it's evidence based. So you get there's a cardiologist, there's a psychiatrist that really thinks outside the box of the Western medical system. There's psychologists, nurses. You go there, they actually do an ECG. They do an ultrasound on your heart. They take all blood tests. They look at all of your different organs. Like I'm telling you, it's like freaking 5-star, like the meals and the people there are so like you go the love. They're so heartfelt. Like everybody needs a paycheck, but you can tell like they would do it without it because they're seeing fucking miracles happening week in and week out. Like, I mean, we're talking about addiction. We're talking about mental health, but people with like Lyme disease, people with the boxer there, not Mike Tyson, but Muhammad Ali, Parkinson's disease.
Yeah.
So a lot of people now with Parkinson's disease that are actually in wheelchairs, like shaking, will go through an ibogaine, medical experience and will get out of it walking out. Like the things that are happening is just, it's humanly almost like it's just mind blowing.
Mm-hmm.
So I went there and I was still taking one of the medication called Zopiclone. And Zopiclone, what it does is that it hypnotizes your brain. So the psychiatrist there, he looked at my case and when you go to Transcend, they personalize like every experience in regards to what is, your personal case.
Yeah, the
medical case.
Of course, we're all
right?
different, yeah.
So a lot of other places, they have like kind of, they have a couple, let's say, protocol and everybody kind of fits in the protocol. But there they personalize every protocol for every patient, every client that comes at the clinic. So mine was actually a big one. Like there was addiction, there was mental health, there was diagnostic, there was trauma, there was like, it was big. And they decided, they're like, no, we truly believe that we can help you. So I went there and then the psychiatrist looks at my case like, you've been on this medication for 6 years. I'm like, yes. She's like, well, you're not supposed to be on this medication for more than 4 weeks. The long-term side effect of Zopiclone is dementia, you lose your short-term memory, suicidal ideation, panic attacks, anxiety, and depression. And then I went, what the fuck? The symptoms of my episodes were the long-term side effect of the fucking medication I'd been on. I'm like, how can my medical team in Canada didn't connect the fucking dots? Instead, they wanted to give me more fucking medication and give me more diagnostics. And I always refused it. Like I felt it, like I say it, you know, within me. So long story short, they got me off the medication 2 days before. I was sleeping 4 to 6 hours on that medication. Since then, I've never touched that medication ever again. And now I'm like 4 months pass and I'm sleeping 7, 8, 9 hours a night with 50 to 60% of REM and deep sleep.
So
I'm
insomnia is
sleeping
gone.
more of recuperative sleep right now than I was sleeping all night on the medication. My vision, I'm sitting down after flood dose. So you get a flood dose, then you get booster doses. The second booster dose, I'm sitting at night, I'm reading my book. I put my glasses on. Everything's blurry. I'm like, what the fuck? Put my glasses on. Everything becomes clear. I'm like, what? I put my glass. My vision came back 2020.
That's fucked up.
It healed your vision.
It healed my
And
vision.
what was so before that you wore glasses, right?
I couldn't read without glasses.
And no, okay. And the ceremony you do, how does it work? Like, do you smoke it? Do you
No, it's
inhale,
actually
like-
capsules.
Okay, so it's like little pills.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it goes by your weight, and they want to give you X amount of milligrams depending on your
Okay.
weight. And so you have the flood dose, that's the big dose. And in that dose, like I was 6 hours under. Some people can be
What does that mean under?
you're under the effect of the plant medicine,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And the effect of the plant medicine for me, it was really crazy because when it actually hit, like physically speaking, you're a little bit like not paralyzed, but like if you want to go to the bathroom, like your balance is off,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then you're sitting down, beautiful room, you got a mask on, you got music on, they administered the medicine. And normally it takes about 40, 45 minutes to hit. And some people sleep. They'll sleep and wake up like crazy. Not a lot. And I was like hoping that that's not what's going to happen. But then like an hour come and I'm like, man, I don't feel anything. Like an hour, 15 minutes. Then I asked to go to the washroom and they're like, can you walk? And I was able to walk. And then I come back and I sit down. And then suddenly, man, I start feeling this energy, this like electricity going through my body. And I was like, what the fuck's going on? And then this like beam like of light just hit my soul, man. And it was going, and I was sensing, like not just hearing, sensing, drilling in my brain, drilling in my soul. And I could see the debris that were coming down. And then suddenly a big thunder, pow! And it said, then I heard a voice, it is finished. So then in my mind, for the first time, I had an expectation. I'm like, oh, I'm going to probably get a good experience because all this shit is finished. No. God showed me everything that was actually finished. So then movie previews of all of my own personal traumas start, like a movie preview would play. And then the right side of my mouth would start speaking guilt and shame and negativity. And then suddenly the left side of my mouth would start speaking grace and life and love. My hands would come together. It would be like this cloud of light and glory. And then suddenly that preview would just leave. And I would try to grab it and bring it back, but I couldn't remember it. But all my life, I tried to fucking control everything. So I was still even trying to control the fucking experience.
Normal human
But good. It was
reaction.
like, it's finished. It's finished. And then hundreds, bro. Like, tack, 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 tack,
I
tack,
imagine,
tack,
yeah.
tack. And then suddenly, a face shows up. And there's like the Catholic Church, and there's like blood everywhere, and there's like kids being molested. And I'm like, who the fuck are you? No answer. Another face. Same scenario. No answer. Third face. Same scenario. No answer. Fourth face, my grandfather. Fifth face, my dad. And then I felt the weight of all of the generational trauma that I was actually fucking carrying, bro. And that was 100x more heavy than all of my personal trauma. And then I had a choice. And I embraced it. And I give it love and peace.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's like my dark warrior. It's part of me. And suddenly, man, freedom, stillness, peace. My mind was always buzzing. Like there was always noise.
Mm-hmm.
I was never present. Now, I can just decide not to think and be present and be at peace. Anxiety, completely gone. My mood is like stable, like it has never been in my entire life. Like it has completely my perspective on things. Fear? There's no fear. I got fucking crucified, man. And resurrected in this new state of consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell people that's the beauty of the human experience. We're a spirit living a human experience, is that I have free will.
Yeah, exactly.
I still have a choice. But now I tell people it's like that state of consciousness was a Toyota Tercel. This new state of consciousness is a Pagani.
Mm-hmm.
When you drive a Pagani, when you go back to the Toyota Tercel, you'll fucking remember how that ride used to feel.
Yeah.
And then you got a choice, right? And every experience is different. There's the physiological side of it right now, like with all of this study with Stanford University, the flood dose actually, they looked at millions of different scans and people that are actually, they're scanned before and after the flood dose. Your brain is actually being rejuvenated. Like your brain is like up to 5 years younger after the flood dose. The neuroplasticity of your gray matter started reprogramming itself at the speed of a 10, 12 years old for the next 90 days since your last booster dose. Like people with, that's why, with brain trauma injury, healed. People with, so many different disease, mental health, they get out of there.
Yeah.
Your brain is being rewired for people with addiction, pre-addiction. Do you still have a choice to go back and fucking snort cocaine or what? Yes, you do. Could you still get addicted again? Yes. But now you have a new state of consciousness.
Does it reboot you in a way?
It reboots. It resets your brain.
And 2 questions I have. So that ceremony, is it simply to show you your trauma and then after you have to go work on yourself?
100%.
Okay,
the work starts.
So you have to put in the work.
Oh, bro, you got to integrate.
Okay. Yeah, because you have free will. So because I never did it. So in a way,
I'm still seeing my psychotherapist once a week.
Okay.
I see him with my wife once a week. He sees my 2 children once a week.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Okay. How old are they?
They're 11 and 13.
Okay.
I do cold plunges every day.
Nice.
My nutrition. I'm at the gym. I do yoga twice a week. I do Pilates twice a week. I'm 4 times at the gym. Like my life hygiene, But I have so much. Like I used to be surviving. Now I'm living.
Yeah.
This breath of life. I am so when I came out of this the 4 boosters, I had 4 booster doses every 2 days. I was there for 14 days. Most people, depending if you don't really have like any mental health or addiction, anxiety, yes, but mental health diagnostic, will be there 7 to 10 days. But as I said, my case was pretty heavy. So 14 days. In the last booster dose, I truly felt God saying to me, I want you to be an ambassador of my medicine. Bring the lost travelers back home. And it's as crazy as it is. This is why, it's not an obligation, but it's an invitation.
Of course, yeah.
When my wife saw me come out of that experience the first time, I was so excited because I wanted her to be able to make peace with all of her own trauma and stuff. But right away, I could tell it was a radical no for her. So I don't know, you needed that. I don't.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, you know what? Okay, cool. I'm just going to let my presence and my peace speak for itself. Radical results, the fruits. And now I just came back because I went there with another friend that I brought that had an amazing transformation. I'm going back next week with 4 people. I got 6 people coming the last week of January. And I got a group in my mastermind of about 20 guys going a week in February. We're renting the entire clinic. And the craziest thing is I didn't have to initiate any of those conversations. Like people would give me a hug and say, bro, I can feel your peace. I can feel your energy. Tell me more. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And now my wife is actually going.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Like it was so much a radical no.
Yeah.
So people feel and see, like my son telling me like, thank you for being so present.
Yeah.
Right? So, but yes, the work starts after you get out of there.
So to get a better picture, in your opinion, everyone could do it, right? No matter who you are, no matter how much trauma you have.
I mean, there's on the physiological side, there's things that people have to be careful that have heart problems or liver problems. But that's the thing that they're testing for. So there's the 2 contradiction? No.
Why? Contradiction.
Is that the right word in English?
Contraint.
Contraint, right?
Yeah. Constraints.
But this, when you go through the discovery call with them and the MD and you go through your L profile, sometimes they might get you to do some testing in Canada and sending it to them, all depending. But again, the medical frame that these guys have put together is just, and that's what I needed. I needed security, you know. For me, I like ayahuasca and all these other things. People, that might be the medicine and how God is calling them through their own healing journey. And that's their journey and it's good. It's not good or bad and it's their journey. And I totally respect that. That was my journey.
Yeah.
And that's what was calling me. But could anybody benefit from it? I personally believe so.
Okay.
I mean,
so it's all based on personal experience. You cannot speak for someone else because maybe for him, he's going to have a different experience. And it's so personal because it's in your soul, it's in your mind. You cannot know how someone will react to it, right?
Well, I think that the physiological side of it happens. Like your brain rewires. You have a new perspective. I mean, you know, it's like your gray matter is rewiring itself. The neuroplasticity, like that, it's going to happen to anybody. But then the spiritual aspect of it, right? I think at Transcend, it's not like they have shaman or whatsoever. Again, it's medical based, it's scientific based, it's evidence based. And that's what I needed because of my religion upbringing, right?
Where is it located?
In Cancun, Mexico.
Cancun, Mexico, okay.
Cancun.
Do they have in North America?
No.
America and Canada?
There's some, actually, there is some ceremonies that happens in Canada. In Canada, it's not illegal, but it's in a gray zone.
Okay.
In the United States, it's fucking illegal. Like if you get caught with ibogaine, bro, it's like having cocaine or heroin on you. Imagine that shit.
Okay.
You can walk around with freaking all kind of medications in your pocket, and that's okay.
I don't know. So I don't know ibogaine, so I cannot really comment on it. But I'm just curious.
It's just to kind of, you know, to me, anyway, we could talk about that for a long time. But I think there's the pharmaceutical industry, and there's just so much in that conversation.
It's just me. I'm more curious for how it's gonna work. Like, let's say Julien, when he comes there, what's the process gonna look like for Julien?
So he's going to get his discovery call. He's going to fill in the L profile. And then he's going to have a conversation with one of the MD. And then he's like approve or non-approve depending on his medical profile, right? He's not coming in with any addiction problems or any substance addiction problems. I think so. Yeah.
We don't know. He's looking up. He's looking to level up his game.
So for him, brain trauma injury and optimizing, you know, is cognitive function.
Yeah.
Like it's going to imagine how much somebody would pay for my brain to be up to 5 years younger.
Sure.
Imagine
of course,
that,
everyone.
right?
Yeah,
like you say, it's one of the most powerful tools that we have.
It's your most important tool also.
So imagine that. But then there's the entire like spiritual side where like everybody's going to, you know, you're going to face some dark shit, man. This was the toughest. It was the most hard thing that I've ever did in my entire life. Like it was a crucifixion.
Yeah.
But on the other side of it, there was total freedom.
Yeah.
Total presence.
So
peace.
So it's the hardest thing you did, but the most rewarding also.
Oh, bro.
Yeah. That's how it is. You know, the things that bring you the most out of life and that bring you the most are the hardest things to do. Everything that's good for you is hard. So I'm just curious, how is that going to work for, let's say, can he do it while he's in training camp? Are you going to do it while you're in training camp?
No, so it's going to be either before or, well, we're planning on end of January. It just depends. I had an offer yesterday for a potential fight in Australia end of January.
Really? Okay.
So I'm waiting on, we're going to see, like I'm waiting. If the offer is very good, I might take it. If not, I'm going to go do January. So it depends on this, but the goal now is to go January and then I would fight like in March or April.
Really? Yeah.
That's the goal, you know? But
yeah,
I mean,
of course.
If the offer is amazing, like I will.
And March, April, that would be Samurai MMA in Quebec.
So the goal, now we're switching subject a little bit, but
yeah,
the goal right now, like I love Samurai, they're super cool and everything, and I love the promoter, but for sure right now I would not do another fight in Gatineau as of right now, right?
Okay.
So all the tickets sell and everything, it's a lot on me, and at the end of the day, I don't end up like getting out of the fight with a lot of money, regardless of like the opponent change or everything.
Yeah.
This was different this time, but I'm just saying that right now I want to focus on really fighting like international or, you know, going up, you know, going up.
Of course. Yeah,
you want making more money, be a prize fighter with my record
UFC.
and everything. I think I deserve it. So I'm waiting for the offers, but like I said, my manager is working right now and we'll see what happens. But the goal as of right now is really to go end of January to Transcend. So this, like, I'll know this week, by the end of the week, if the fight in Australia happens or no. And like I said, we're going to just jump on the gun for for ibogaine right after.
Yeah. Are you going with him?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I go with everyone.
And do you do it with him, or do you just stand by him? Like,
So
how does it work?
in my own protocol,
Mhm.
I did the flood dose and 4 booster dose.
Okay.
Then I went. They recommended for me to do another booster dose 90 days. So I just did one about 3 weeks ago, and then 6 months, and then potentially maybe another full blown experience in 1 year. But it's only a recommendation. It's an invitation, because with plant medicine, your soul will tell you. It's a calling. Not here, because this will sometimes want to play tricks with you. Like fear is going to start settling. Like,
Always.
what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know? But it's totally, and that's why I tell people, like I said, it's never an obligation. It's an invitation. But sit with it, you know? And what is your heart? What is your soul telling you? And I think that's the most important thing. And might not be ibogaine, might be ayahuasca, might be psilocybin, might be, you know, there's different plant medicine out there. Ibogado, they call it the Mount Everest. They call it the spirit molecule. They call it the grandfather. It's a very masculine energy.
Okay.
In the sense that it brings you to fucking hell.
Yeah.
It crucifies you, and then it resurrects you.
So it's
Right.
both extremes.
It's
Both extremes, right?
Yes. And, you know, I can't talk about ayahuasca. I've never done ayahuasca.
Okay.
I've had conversation about it, but I didn't feel the calling. Like I said, but when I opened that podcast, man, I knew that I knew. Like, I already knew then and there. Like, that hope, you know, I was saying there was no, like, hope came back.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, wow.
It's amazing.
Right?
And hope is the most important for all human beings. We all need hope. Hope brings us together. Hope makes our lives mean something. Hope, I mean, just the word hope speaks for itself, man.
I go with for me, this is it. This is my divine mandate. It's my purpose. I'm actually going to Cancun. We're going to be looking at potentially, you know, land to open other clinics. Like, this is it. And there's about four different countries right now around the world that it's actually legal. So we're looking at opening clinics in each one of those countries. And we're actually even creating a social platform to really invite people as top funnel for their own transformation. For me, as crazy as it sounds, and I used to so give a fuck about what everybody thought of me.
Yeah.
Like, because I needed you to love me and validate me and accept me, because I couldn't love myself and accept myself and validate myself. Now I do. I don't give a fuck. I'm just going to speak my truth. And if it resonates, good. If it doesn't, who cares, right? So many people, someone told me this one day, and I think that's so crazy, but that's kind of where probably 99% of people are. I am what I think that you think that I am.
So you are what I think you are.
Look the insanity.
So
the
that's
insanity.
That's when you care too. That's when you care too much,
right?
They care too much what other people think about themselves.
Well, that's how we live. The image, the fucking mask.
Yeah.
We're performing.
What do people think about me?
What does he think? So I'm gonna act a certain way because I think that you think that.
Exactly.
But how the fuck do I know what you think, bro?
Exactly.
Like, right? But most people, I am what I think that you think that I am.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that used to be 42 years of my life. Now I don't give a fuck, with all due respect,
Of course, yeah.
what you think, and you have the right to think what you think.
Of course.
But I'm so convicted now. It's a knowing in regards to my truth of who I am. And the same as you, so many people say, Nick, you're gifted and this and that. But I've never had self-confidence. Now I'm carrying Godfidence. Because I'm just at peace. Yeah. And nobody can challenge that.
Exactly.
I don't give a fuck what you say. Nobody can challenge. I didn't know what peace was. I didn't know what presence was. True happiness and joy. I'm living it. I don't get out of presence more than maybe 5 minutes out of presence because right away my peace starts just dissipating. And that's my trigger. And I'm like, because this for me is the most valuable things that, you know, that I have. I don't care about some materialistic, like, yes, it's good. I am enjoying it more now because I'm at peace.
Because you're more grateful.
And I'm
also.
present.
Yeah.
You know, it's just crazy, the perspective, how everything shifted.
And also, like when you said, most people, they care a lot about what others have to think. Now, I think like it's degree. Some people care more, some people care less. But you know how they say that if someone tells you a compliment and you take it so to the heart, the same goes for the other way around. If someone's going to tell you a compliment, you're going to be so excited. When he's going to tell you something that you don't like to hear, you're also going to take it a lot to the heart. So you shouldn't, like, in a way, you shouldn't really care what other people think. Just live your life how you want to live it, because no matter what you say, I did many podcasts, no matter what I say, no matter how beautiful it may sound, some people are going to say that's fucking stupid. Some people are going to say that's fucking smart.
Yeah, 100%.
Who's right?
No.
Am I right? Is he right? Is he? Who knows? Some people agree. Some people don't agree. Some people I know many people. I heard many podcasts talking in favor of how do we call that? Plant medication. But I also hear many people talking against plant medication. So it's like
medicine, yeah.
Yeah, plant medicine. It works for you, perfect. If it helps you deep down, honestly, if it helps you, good for you. But for some people, they're gonna talk against it. Who's right? Right?
Yeah.
Who's right?
Well, I mean, if somebody talks against it and have not lived the experience, then I think they're totally wrong, personally. And that's just my truth. Because, don't talk about, like, what I'm speaking about right now is not about knowledge, it's not about understanding, it's about experience.
Yeah.
So nobody can challenge that in regards to my truth. But that's my truth.
That's
and
your
your
truth,
might be different, and their truth might be different. It's not good or bad, it's their truth.
Exactly.
But people don't speak their truth anymore. That's the fucking problem, right? Exactly. And I would have never done what I'm doing right now, like, and being very vulnerable about everything from addiction to other. But right now, for me, it's pain into purpose. Yeah. If my story can help one soul to get out of the fucking pit of hell that I was in into what I'm living here and now, you know what, man? I'm done.
Exactly.
One soul.
Yeah.
Because I know what fucking else feels like. Yeah. What wanting to fucking kill myself feels like. Being addicted. Thinking I'm mentally ill. And now living this freedom and this peace, I mean, that's an invitation. It's not an obligation. And this is why I'm going to spend the rest of my life sharing my story. Of course. And sharing my experience.
It's your
and
life,
inviting people. And they can think whatever they want to think. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. But if someone feels invited, I'll be more than happy to have a conversation with anyone.
Of course, yeah.
And as I say to everyone, it's not an obligation, but it's an invitation.
Exactly.
But on the other side of it, on the other side of what? Of surrendering. Yeah. On the other side of getting out of your fucking head into your heart and letting this speak to you.
Of course, yeah. Like you said, it's your experience, it's your life. You can do whatever you want with your life, right? So if you feel like that's the best, you can do whatever you want. Someone can say their opinion, you can have your opinion. At the end of the day, you're gonna live your life. He's gonna live his life.
Exactly,
so,
bro.
Yeah.
And like you said, the experience. Like it's the same thing with me. Like you should have done this, done that. Well, bro, how many times you've been in the cage? Zero, but well, so
exactly.
I appreciate you like saying this, and like I'm an open-minded guy, but at the end of the day, it's like
get it in the face, right? Mike Tyson said.
Like,
what did Mike Tyson say? Everybody wants to be a world champion until they get hit in the face.
Exactly. Everybody has a plan until they get hit in the face.
Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. Yeah.
It's like if Georges St-Pierre tells me something, I will listen to him
because he's above you.
And he's
that's different.
World champion, and he's been in the cage. Yeah. It's but at the same time, hey, you want to tell me something? I'm open-minded. Will I keep it in grudge or oh shit, man, this guy told me this? No, because the guy never fought. But at the same time, people are like this, especially these days with the social medias and everything. So you gotta.
And especially a sport like MMA, everyone's an expert. Like I asked Tommy Morrison once, like, does it happen a lot to you that people come up to you and say, oh, you should do this, you should have done that in the fight, blah, blah, blah. He says, yeah, it happens a lot, but I understand that it comes from a good place. They're trying to help me. So sometimes I just listen, I smile and I say yes, but deep down, I don't give a fuck.
No, exactly.
So that's how you can do it, because if you get angry, then like we said in the beginning, you're giving him power to control you, right?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
That's it.
And especially a sport like MMA, like everyone thinks, we all think we can fight. Yeah. Even though 99.9% of men can't fight, I can't fight, I never fought. I know, I'm aware of that. So I would never tell Julien Leblanc was a fucking pro MMA fighter.
Smart.
Yeah, because I know. I don't know.
There's a lot of dumb people, sorry. But
because I don't know how to fight. So I'm not going to say, Julien, you know what? Last fight, why did you punch him like this? Should have thrown a jab. I'm not going to say that because I never fought and I don't know how to fight. So I'm never going to tell that. But some people, they think that they know how to fight because we all feel like fighting is something natural, right? It's like we can all wrestle in a way, but do you truly know how to wrestle?
Exactly.
That's different. I can start wrestling with him right now. Do I truly know how to wrestle? No, I'm going to grab him. He's going to grab me. Maybe he has more experience. I don't know him personally. Whatever, but it's not going to be a real MMA fight. Like in a bar, it's not a real fight. I saw many fights, not a real fight. But I feel like sometimes it comes from a place of heart. People love you.
No, exactly. I don't take nothing personal. And like I said, I'm an open-minded guy, and I think it's important to be open-minded, but you decide what you really like take and what you let go, right?
Yeah, but sometimes it's like, guys, like, shut the fuck up. You don't know what
There
you're
was a couple
talking
of guys
about.
drunk at the casino last Friday saying, I could take everyone on the card, and the guy's missing teeth. He's all coked up and drunk, and they're like, okay,
In the casino?
okay. No, but I mean, after,
Okay.
like, there was one guy who's friend from, like, when we were kids, and he came, it's for the first time he came to my fight, and yeah, the guy was fighting bums when we were young, and he was, like, cool,
Yeah,
but I
bro,
mean, the guy has
That's
fucking,
so
all,
different.
like, you should see the guy, you, like, and he was like, I think I could take you and take everyone in the car, blah, blah. And I was like, well, bro, come to Panadol. Yeah, you told me a couple of times, like, yeah, he still didn't come. It's been almost 2 weeks since the fight. So, but I mean, I don't lose time with this. But I mean, at the same time, I'm grateful that he bought a ticket and he came down to see me, you know? So
Of course.
there's a lot of,
But yeah, no, there's a huge difference between fighting bums and being a professional MMA fighter, training the sport, practicing, developing it. There's such a huge difference. I mean, fighting, being drunk and then getting like want to be all macho and all alpha male, which can also come from, I mean, insecurities. Like, why do you feel the need to tell other people I can beat you up?
because he was drunk and he was probably like, oh shit, this guy made it there. And me, I have almost no more teeth because I did fucking...
He's letting out his insecurities, right?
Yeah, and just probably he has guilt of him fucking up his life, you know? Like,
Exactly. Do you think GSP would look at you and say, Julien Leblanc can fuck you up? He's not going to say it because he doesn't have insecurities.
And he knows in his head. It's like me, bro. If you cut me on the light, man, go. No problem.
Yeah.
You want to fight? Hey, bro.
You wanna fight?
We don't need to, man. Just go.
Yeah.
I don't care, right? But if
Yeah.
he comes out of his car and he comes do something to me, then okay, well, I'll
You'll
fuck
defend
you up.
yourself,
But I
of
mean,
course.
like I will always like try to, hey man, it's all good, bro. Sorry, man. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I cut you up. Sorry. I thought I could go like sorry, and he doesn't know I can fuck him up.
Yeah.
But it's like he's probably thinking, oh, this guy said sorry. No, I could fuck you up, boy.
Yeah.
But
No, but
did it
you're
for
not
you,
being
and I
weak.
don't
You're
want-
just being smart.
exactly.
You're not being weak because you can be fucking John Jones. If I pull a gun, that remains a
No,
gun.
exactly.
I don't care who you fucking are.
Exactly.
That's a gun,
And
right?
I choose my battles, too,
yeah.
right? So
And like, guys, one little warning: if you see a guy in the streets and he has cauliflower ears, just say, you know what?
Walk away.
yeah.
Just say, I'm sorry. I hope you have a beautiful day. God bless you. Keep going with your day, man. Because the cauliflowers, you don't get it as a rookie. You get it as because he's been fighting for years, man. Yeah.
And I think your last question, just want to add something that I think is important for Julien, you know?
Yeah,
I think we all see the lion in him. We all see the champ.
of course.
Like I call him the
appreciate
champ,
that, yeah.
champ.
Of course.
And-
Going in a ring like he does in professional, I mean, come on.
But I can feel that, I could feel that a lot of time he doesn't see what we see. And I
Exactly.
think that's what he shared earlier. So I think for me, you know, as we're going through this beautiful experience together, I know that it's going to put him in a fucking box of mirror.
Yeah.
And I believe and I hope that in that box of mirror, he's going to see what we see.
And I will.
and
I'm
you
sure
will.
I will.
And on the other side of it, I can wait for the next time that you do a podcast with him, or maybe still the three of us on the other side of that experience. And then on the physiological side, for the medical team there, is they really want to test the flow state. Because as we mentioned earlier in the call, like you take the Mike Tyson of this world, the George St. Pierre, they'll tell you, like, when I get into the flow, everything slows down,
Mhm.
right? I can see the punches coming, right?
Yeah, it's
What
all
is
slow
the flow?
motion. It's also in the cage, bro. This is true, and I always tell it's all slow motion.
But what is
Really?
slow motion?
But exactly, like it can be slow motion for you, and the other guy's on point, and you don't see the punch.
Like, in what sense is it?
Well,
in
it's
slow
like
motion?
you don't hear the crowd. It's like you come into
You're
a
in the
bubble. You're in the zone. It's like
You're
everything
wired
is like,
in?
It's like in the movies when they do like a POV, you know, of the
Yeah,
fight.
yeah.
Like it's like it's not. It's completely different than in sparring in the gym. Like you don't hear nothing else, bro. You only
Really?
like all your hearing is selective. You hear your coaches. You don't hear like you really.
That makes- yeah.
The
The adrenaline.
it's powerful, man.
Yeah.
The mind and everything is powerful, and I cannot
Yeah.
wait to feel it after the
Yeah, and it might be just that. It might be because the adrenaline in your body
Yeah,
knows
exactly.
in what situation you are, that it has to naturally shut off all
have
these
to.
other instincts
Yeah.
so that you, like, in a way survive this fight. So that's why you get in this zone, which I personally don't know what's like because I've never stepped on an octagon in front of thousands of people. But like, think about it logically, it has to be like you become in a zone where your ear, you cannot hear everything because your mind's like, okay, we don't have time to waste on hearing everything. We have to focus on what's important right now. I'm fucking facing a guy. I might literally die.
Exactly.
I must select what I'm going to look at. I'm like, you become so like, I mean, you can explain it best, right?
No, but it's exactly what you're saying. Like you say, like your hearing is selective.
But what do you think would happen, right? If you get so much into this vibration, right? And if you're so present that instead of all being here, it's your intuition that start talking to you about the next move you need to make.
You need to fight not with this, and you need to fight with here.
And this is where we feel that this experience in the medical team is going to transcend him into a new state of consciousness. So imagine being in the fight and being so present that you're not just like thinking what he's going to do, but your intuition is just pushing you into the next fucking move.
That's the goal. That's the goal. So let's go, man. Let's do it. Amen.
You're waiting on it, huh? You can't wait, huh?
Go.
Wait.
How did you get the idea? You saw you met him like
we started training together, and you just talked to me about it, and we talk, and we do a lot of sauna after trainings, and we just talk, and he's like, would you be open to get a sponsor for them? It started just with a sponsor, and then we end up now I'm gonna go do it. So really, really grateful, really happy.
So for you, it was more of like I asked already, leveling up your game.
100%.
And do you feel like
not only my game, but all
aspects
my
of life,
you know, like just
life. So it's not only for Julien Leblanc as a fighter, but also
Julien
for
Leblanc.
Julien Leblanc.
Exactly.
That's
Amen
it. Whatever I do.
Exactly.
And do you feel like when it comes more on the fighting aspect, do you feel like you're, like you said, you're more of a slow starter because you don't believe in yourself? Do you feel like that's your biggest weakness as a fighter?
100%. Like you said, it's me versus me.
But at the same time, because when I watch it, from my personal experience, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like your mentality is also your strongest point. Because your last fight, Samurai MMA in March, you were like, if I'm being honest, in the beginning you were a bit slow, right?
Exactly.
But then you were picking up the pace,
because
and you TKO'd him.
Because I started at the beginning, the first 2 rounds, I was just there for being there. I was like, okay, I need to get, this guy's ex-UFC guy is good, blah, blah. I need to get in there and just get out healthy, not injured. But then I was not thinking about winning. Then after 2 rounds, I was like, okay, I'm down 2 rounds. I have 3 more rounds because it's a 5 round, but I'm already down 2 rounds. It's about time I start winning. And I was, at the second round, I was defending his takedowns. I was like, fuck, I'm able to get up when he takes me down. And like, this guy has done nothing for 2 rounds and he's winning. He's done nothing, but I've done nothing either.
Yeah.
It's like after the second round, I was like, now it's time I start trying to actually win, not just be there. And then 3rd round, this is when everything happened. I started to land but even before the knee, I started to land my things and boom.
But that's the mentality you want to get in the first round.
Exactly.
And what was the transition like? So in the beginning, you said you were like, okay, this is ex-UFC guy, so all your fears start kicking in, and all your doubts starts kicking in. Yeah. What's the transition? Because only 2 rounds went by, so 5 minutes, 1 minute pause,
my
right?
Coach for sure. My coach
Sifu
too.
Patrick
But
Marcel.
also
Shout out,
just me being there, man, like in the cage and knowing I'm losing and just that I'm not actually trying.
Is it like a fuck it, I have nothing to lose, I have to go fucking all out?
Like, fuck it, I was just not even trying to win. So it was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna start fighting. You know what I mean? So that was it. Like I was not even fighting. I was just fucking there. Just there, being there and losing.
Present in the moment.
You know, I was just like, no, Julien, start actually fighting. And when I started fighting, I started winning, right?
Of course, I was there. I remember. That's why I asked you, because I remember in the first 2 rounds, he was going for the takedowns, right? Constantly grabbing you, putting you down. You couldn't do nothing. But then the 3rd round, that's when you switched, and that's when you became present. That's when you became more powerful.
My striking go.
Because maybe in the first 2 rounds you weren't present. You were more about what's gonna happen, anxiety, whatever.
But
like
the
we were talking
mentality
about.
also was about surviving. He was like, I need to survive.
Oh, I know. We keep talking. The mentality.
The mentality was surviving, and then it's about shifting. It's a shift of perspective. It's a shift of mentality, right? A shift in attitude. That no, I'm going there. I'm the fucking lion. I'm the fucking champ, and I'm winning. Or not even I'm winning, I won, right? You got to go in with that mentality, like it's already done. And I believe this is the shift that we're going to see happening.
So you shouldn't think about what's going to happen, am I going to win, but simply, I'm here to fight, go and fight.
That's right.
Exactly, man. I love that, man. I love that we're talking about everything. That you guys are so open.
My son, you know, he's 11 and he's a fucking lion. Like he's probably one of the best athlete at soccer. Like his game is just surreal. The way he scans the game. So now we're going probably even he was invited to go to Barcelona to a camp in February, and actually we're gonna also be moving to Miami. So we're looking at probably maybe trying to get him. We got him a manager now that's managing his career. Like he's 11, but he has that potential. But if you ask my son, 11, you know, what's your vision? What's your purpose? Who are you going to become? He's going to say, I'm the best fucking, you won't say fuck, but he's going to say, I'm the best soccer player that has ever lived. Straight up. And when we go to a game, we have these mantras. And we start, you know, and it says, what does it mean to be in lion mode? It's like, hunting the gazelle. I'm like, what does hunting the gazelle represent in soccer? What does hunting the gazelle represent in soccer? It's like hunting the ball. Like, why do you hunt the ball? It's like to score, do an assist, or save a goal. Why do you score, do an assist, or save a goal? It's like to win.
Yeah.
I'm like, why do you win? He's like, because I'm a lion, right? So I'm helping him to carry this mentality that he goes in, he's already the lion. He has already won. And that's, I feel, it's the mentality and the attitude that we all need to have in life in regards to what our purpose is. Mm-hmm. And I kind of add that fire in me prior to me going through all of my own... Yeah, going through my own challenges and everything that I went through, you know. But I just as him, I completely lost that, and I was at a point where, you know, I felt completely defeated.
Yeah, I feel like it's really important, like we were talking about, and like also right now with you, it's really important to have a balance of, yo, I'm the man, I'm him, but at the same time, I feel like you should be smart enough to know how to humble yourself so you know where you can improve, because we can always all improve, right, as human beings,
100%.
no matter who you become. But I feel like if you become too ego, me, sometimes you can become clouded and think, oh no, I'm perfect, I don't have nothing to improve. Well, actually, no matter who you are, we all have something we can improve. No one's perfect, and you're never going to be perfect. You're born imperfect, you're going to die imperfect. So I feel like you have to have a good balance of both, in my opinion.
It's an harmony. I think it's a dance, but you got to believe it. Mm-hmm. If you don't believe if you don't believe you're the champ, you'll never be the champ.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like there's not one champion in the world that didn't believe deep down in their heart and soul that they were the fucking champ.
Yeah. Before it happened.
Yeah. Before it happened.
Yeah. So like this past fight in March and this one right now, what was the difference in mentality? Was it the same? Like you're going there a bit more stressed out, or you were different?
No, I was different for sure. Like I wanted to also learn from the March fight, because I wanted to not be a slow starter, and I just didn't want it to be in my head, you know, like just remember that I'm good, right? And regardless what the other guy did in his last fights, remember that I also knocked out people, also submit people, and just show up and fight. And I'm happy that I did that for sure. Okay, yes, maybe my opponent was not the opponent I was supposed to fight, but at least I did this. Now the goal is to do the same, but with an opponent the caliber of UFC caliber, right? So that's the goal, and that's why I'm in this journey right now of just improving my mental toughness, because I know I have the skills, I know I'm good, man. I can compete with anyone when I go to Kill Cliff and everything, and right, it's always been me versus me, man. And everyone that knows me, my coaches, they know it. So right now, like I've improved a little bit with all the breath work and all that I did, but I want to go reach really the top, and I think with Transcend ibogaine it's gonna work. So I'm looking forward for this.
And right now we're the 3rd of December 2025. What's your goal? What's your next future goal?
For sure, my goal, like in fighting, is to just like I said, do big fights that is gonna pay me, because man, I'm gonna be 34. I know I'm not young, and also I have a family, you know, and I have a life. And right now, it's to really like make the most of the fighting, because we're on a five fight win streak. So let's keep on going, but let's do fights that are gonna bring me some good things, you know, after. And also I want to go to, like I said, to the next step. I want to maybe travel to fight and everything. I feel like I'm there right now, and just in life, man, just have some great business opportunities that I'm working on right now, and like I'm looking forward to build my future right now more than everything. Okay. More than anything, sorry. Yeah. So really build my future and be the best version I can be, and I think it's gonna help with the Transcend experience.
Or your mental game.
Exactly.
What's your end goal? Like, what's your perfect future? What does it look like?
Well, for sure, stay healthy.
Mhm.
You know, in the
Of course,
fighting.
health is wealth.
So you know, get out of the fight game at the right time, not like just go until the
You
wheel.
have a certain age you're thinking?
Not really. Like it always depends on the what you get into
Situation.
like the damage you
damage,
get,
yeah.
you know. So this is a big thing, and
So your health will decide when you'll stop.
exactly my
Okay.
health and also the opportunities. Like
Okay,
if
yeah.
I see like, man, the UFC is not interested at all, and like at one time I'll have to take a decision. You know what I mean? And yeah, so right now, man, it's just to be in the moment, not think too much about the future. Stay ready, stay healthy, stay in shape, and see what opportunities are gonna get to me. Like, and I'm gonna let my manager work on this. You know.
Yeah. So if you can tell me like a 5-year plan just to end the
Yeah.
episode, what would it look like? UFC, this fight,
Yeah,
that
UFC
fight.
or PFL.
Yeah.
Make the most money I can.
Nice.
You know, continue to create some amazing contacts that this game, because yes, and then identity that I'm Julien Leblanc, the fighter, is already there.
Oh,
you know?
of course.
But it doesn't mean that I want to stop here. You know, I want to keep on growing. I want to give back to the people as much as I can. You know, and I just want to be in this great journey. I'm lucky to live this life. It's I feel lucky, grateful for it. And like I said, the next, honestly, bro, the next 5 years is just make the most of fights that I can, great fights, make the most money, and of course build my future with some business partners and create something else than fighting, because fighting is amazing, but when it's all said and done, I'm not gonna end up the fighter that has nothing after at 35, 36 years old, you know?
Yeah.
So that's the goal, bro. It's just to keep on going, but be smart and, you know, stay healthy.
Yeah. And last question, what is your plan after fighting?
As of right now, it's really like I said, I cannot talk about nothing. But
Okay.
I have some, honestly, man, I'm really lucky, really grateful to have some amazing people around me. And I really do believe that I have some great opportunities on the side right now. And I believe that they will
Work out.
Well, maybe not all, but I believe that some of them will work out, and that it's going to be good, man. This is what I do believe, and I'm going to put all my focus and my energy
Stay in the present.
Exactly. Stay in the present, but also, like we said, like build with the right person around me too, you know, because this is important. The people that you surround yourself
relationships,
with. So this is going to be a big goal.
And I think you've mentioned something really, really important earlier. And you said, you know, yes, it's great to have this mindset and this attitude of being the champ, but it's also about being humble, right? And I think that this is what this man carries.
Yeah,
I think
agree.
with, you know, the experience and actually le chemin qu'il est en train de prendre, the road that he's taking to bring himself into really, you know, self-confidence and truly believe in himself. And the beautiful thing is that a lot of people don't have just this humbleness. And I think that's what connects so many people. And that's why he's so well connected and so appreciated.
And so well loved.
It's his love and care.
Exactly.
And, you know, he knows he's the champ. But at the end of the day, you talk to this guy and you never feel that, you know, he's talking like he's above you.
Yeah.
You know, it's
That's why
always
people
with
love
respect and with so much love.
Thank you.
And I think this is what is bringing him so many blessings in regard to all the relationship that he has. I believe this is why we have so much an amazing relationship, right?
And that's why I can speak for him. That's why people love him so much, because you accomplish a lot. You're a real man. You're not afraid to talk about your feelings like we did. And I appreciate both of you guys for expressing yourselves, not being shy and just not being afraid to be vulnerable. I appreciate it a lot. It's really beautiful content. And that's why I can speak for him. I know why people love him so much. I can speak for myself why I love and respect him so much. I consider him now a brother. It's because he works so fucking hard. When he talks to you, you know, like he's talking to you like a friend, like he's not above you, and he can literally punch you one punch, you're gonna be knocked out. You know what I mean? But he's so fucking humble, so nice. No one's perfect. He remains a human being, and by you guys being able to show your, you know what, I'm a slow starter because I don't, you know what, from time to time I don't feel like good deep down. I don't feel good about myself. I don't believe in myself so much. When you talk like that, people are just gonna love you more and more, and that's normal. We're all human beings. We all have insecurities. We all have
Doubts.
Like I said, you can look at him. When first time I saw him, I'm like, yo, shredded, good looking, makes money. Why the fuck would he be depressive? But hey, he talked about it, he opened up.
Yeah.
Guys, I appreciate a lot.
man.
If you have any
Thank you
last
so
messages, any last shout outs, sponsors, whatever, We're going to end the episode right here.
Just a shout out to all my sponsors, like always. Love you guys. Rocking Shop Center time. Spark. Shout out also to Groupe Quadri d'Argane, Simon Laroche, you know, everyone, honestly, Groupe Fortin, Habitel, Durand Construction, Silva Construction, everyone that supports me, everyone, Physio Tawe, everyone, I know I'm missing some right now, but anyways, everyone that supports me, Transcend, of course, Transcend Clinic, everyone that supports me, I love you guys, everyone that buys tickets, I love you guys, and man, looking forward for what's next. And
of course.
Merci à toi, mon frère.
Hey, merci à vous, mes frères. Je vous apprécie vraiment, man.
Nick,
I appreciate it a
really
lot,
emotional and man.
Of course. No, bro.
It was good, man. Honestly, thank you for this.
A lot of bravery, man. A lot of bravery.
Like thank you for creating the space, man.
Of course, seriously. Man. Of course. No, it's always an open space in my podcast. You know, you've came many times. And I'm so happy you guys expressed yourselves. Don Floriano, shout out everyone. I'm just so happy, guys. I didn't think we were gonna talk so much about human emotions and human philosophy.
But it's good, man.
But you guys were both so open, and I like normally not everyone's so not shy to be that open. And I saw you guys were so open, so I was like, hey, I love talking about philosophy. We're all human beings. Everyone loves hearing about it. If we can help someone, just like someone helped you, if maybe your message can help someone, or your message or my message, I'm always grateful. I'm happy that this episode took this route. I was really surprised because I thought it was going to be more a technical episode, like, oh, what did you eat? Blah, blah, blah. But we talked about failures,
real life, bro,
fear, real life, unraw, uncut. I appreciate you guys, man.
And the last thing I want to say, bro, if there's anyone in your audience that is dealing with addiction, that is dealing with mental, that is dealing with, you know, depression, I see them, I feel them, I've been there, and I'm more than happy to have a conversation with anyone. And share, you know, the only thing I can share is my truth and my experience, but just don't give up.
Never. Where there's life, there's hope.
Exactly. Don't give up, and I'm here. And I'm more than happy to have a conversation with anyone that's looking for help.
Beautiful, man. Thank you guys. Julien Leblanc. Merci beaucoup, mon frère. Nick, merci, mon frère. Je t'apprécie, mon frère, maintenant. That was it, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace out.